It's me. I always gotta flip on my display for the world. Yeah, so I did get
Hmm.
two uh, emotes in, but I think they're still doing the
Pending.
process. Yeah.
The Twitch sometimes, like if they stay pending for too long, delete them and resend them, and then
Mm.
sometimes they go through right away.
Yeah, it would be one of those things that if it's not squared off by like tonight, it would be whatever. It'd be fine. We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
It was just like I found that to get around it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, make sure all that stuff. I say,
Uh, Why is Final Fantasy only got to come out on PlayStation?
because you suck. I don't
PlayStation
know.
Master Race.
Oh, shut your mouth.
I
I will
mean,
PlayStation
console-wise,
exclusive.
I'll give it console
Yeah.
Oh, we
as
have
the
the better
master.
exclusives. We have the better exclusives. Like, granted, Halo was good until it wasn't, but God of
It
War,
was good
goated.
until it wasn't.
That
Uh-huh.
last one, I just
Which one? There's a lot of last ones.
Infinite was
the most
ugly.
recent
Yeah,
one.
like
How about that?
Infinite's cool. Like
Infinite was just
it's a really interesting campaign. Like it was really well put together. Being like, oh yeah, we're doing an open world, you know, situation. Like it's you get to go do asymmetrical warfare and like you get to go do all this other stuff. And it's like, oh, that's really cool, but also, what the fuck? It was just it made no
yeah.
sense. The execution was so whack.
That's my issue with it. Exactly what you just said right there.
Yeah. You know, it'd be really cool if a certain salty Viking had me get pinged in his server so I didn't have to keep fucking doing it.
I don't even bother. But yes, I agree with that statement.
Oh no. So I know once, hopefully we'll get Kovral in here because you know we need Rexus. Still got to give the
You
doggo a quick walk. Yeah, I know he's gonna do that.
you have you have Bird. You don't need anybody else.
Ah, yes.
Yeah,
We only
oh
need
God.
the human mercenary. No one else.
That starts fights with paladins.
That starts fights with
I'm
literally anyone he deems worthy of his attention.
I'm thinking round two with a paladin. Not gonna lie.
Oh Jesus Christ! Could
You
you
know, I
not?
thought about asking Ruby to um that time I tripped him and he got bonked with the horny jail bat to ask her to animate that.
Oh man! I mean, that's
Horny
not
jail
even like
bat.
one to
Yeah.
like animate. It's one of those of like just reading it back is like, oh my god! It's just you trip Nosh. He falls into the arms of a shield maiden, who then just bonks him in the fucking skull. And it's just like, yeah, I mean, that's a thing that happened. It is a thing.
And they just make it look all nonchalant because I was just like resting in a bed and I
Yeah,
just
you were
stretch
just
out.
like, oh, I'm just gonna stretch, and then just notch her punk. And then you got paid back by Mandy, becoming
Yup.
the quarter to Etheria's ass, just getting fucking bounced off Topher.
I've only saved Nosh once though.
Yeah.
That one trip too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that happens. Tends to
You know, I
happen.
was like, after doing the second trip, I'm like, this is gonna come back and bite me in the ass.
And it wasn't even like my plan. It was just along the line
It
of
was
like Mandy was
Phantom's
just
idea to
yeah,
trip
it was
someone.
Phantom was like trip somebody, do it, and
Trip.
Mandy was like, I'm gonna do it, and then it just kind of happened.
Do it now.
Thank you, Carson, for the luck for the party. They're probably gonna need it, depending on what they want to
No.
do.
No, we won't need it. What are you
No,
talking
you
about?
won't need it. Oh, that's good to hear.
God,
We
I'll
don't need
take
luck
his
when we
luck.
have skill.
I'll take his luck.
He's giving away.
If you're giving away for free,
She's
you need
she's
to.
just giving away luck. I'll take his shit. Fuck him. Nosh doesn't need it.
I don't be needing it. Actually,
I don't be needing it.
I don't be needing it. I just need my butt. Got it.
And then
Oh,
Dark
here's
Phantom's
Phantom.
coming in with the Brad Brave. Coming in, started hot, started fresh.
I turned those sound alerts up. That got me.
Stupid. Can we just throw
Hey,
Nosh
Phantom.
into a weasel pit? No, we cannot throw Nosh into a weasel pit.
Let's go. How much do you want to?
As much as I know you guys would find that hilarious. Carson's like, yes, do it.
Do it now.
Do it.
Get that shit.
Do it.
Execute order 66. Just opening everyone's streams. Just got to my computer.
Bring me to my computer.
You're not live yet, Nosh.
I'm not going live. I'm not home.
Oh.
I'm never home.
The
It makes
meat.
me sad. It makes me sad.
Be sad.
I'm always
Forever.
fucking doing something. That's why I'm not streaming, because I haven't been home. Munch, come on, this isn't a bar cat. Oh, I see Rights is live, but he's not.
He's
Here.
making his way. He had to probably go run the doggo. He's making his
Oh.
way over.
Yeah, I gotta make sure my doggo's not gonna bark, because I don't want you guys to hear that.
Shrink this. Yes, I can. Wonkus. Yeah, it looks like it's just gonna be the 4 tonight. I hope Mandy and Rage will be listening, just to kind of keep everyone in the loop. Otherwise, I'll fill them in, or they can watch this. It's whatever, honestly. But Salty, once you and Kavral Rexus get in here, I'll go over some housekeeping stuff. Make sure everyone's up to par on levels. Yeah, I figured Rage probably wouldn't, since he's doing basic bitch shit. But Mandy may listen in and just give us the business. But once you and Coverall are here, we'll go ahead and get everything sorted, make sure everyone's taken care of, and then you, dear viewers, you guys are going to be getting a little bit of a surprise to help mess with the party. I only currently have a few options on the board, unfortunately, but I'm looking to expand it. I just need ideas, essentially, to kind of open it up more to what you would like.
While as you're chilling and chit-chatting, what exactly does the Bardic Inspiration entail?
So, Bardic Inspiration is basically you see someone doing an action, and you basically sing them a little ditty to give them inspiration, where they add I believe, a d6 to their roll.
Yeah, that's what it says. 1d6.
Yeah, so basically, like, if Finrod's going to do, I don't know, some kind of check for whatever reason, and you're like, I want him to have that extra little bonus just in case, you basically would give Bardic Inspiration to him by using, I think it's your cantrip, and he'd be able to throw a d6 on his result.
Oh, okay.
It,
And then the
it's a
other
pretty
thing-
solid one.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. The other thing I have...
It's better than Bless, isn't it?
Yes and no. Depends on the situation. Bless is multiple people over a longer period of time. Bardic is like one person. I can't remember what its time frame is.
So the other thing I had was I have a feat now.
Uh-huh.
It's actor. So you gain +1 charisma. You have advantage on deception and performance checks when trying to pass yourself off as a different person. You can mimic the speech of another person or the sounds made by other creatures you have heard for at least a minute. Which that should be interesting.
Yeah, that definitely interesting. Definitely interesting.
And that would come into situations with like, if I'm trying to like, essentially order someone who's in a group that someone else is a group, like for example, like fucking someone that's guarding a fortress, like the leader of a fortress. If I heard something they said, or like some things, I could like mimic myself and be like, "Oh, go, use a latrine. It's break time," or some shit like that.
Well, does it say that you can mimic their voice or how they speak?
Mimic the speech
So
or the
when it
sounds made by
says
other creatures.
yeah, so when it says mimic the speech, it means you can match their cadence or match the language, even if you don't know it. You can't sound like them. Like
Okay.
you're not imitation artist. Where like
Okay.
you could try, but that would be a performance check. But you could use your actor feat to be like, oh, I'm going to be able to, if I listen to him long enough, I'll be able to match his cadence, which would probably give you advantage on performing and imitating that person. So it's not something you can just do naturally. It's something you have to actually put like effort into. But it's like something you can do.
Yeah, so I have to roll for it, and
Yeah,
like either it passes or fails type of thing.
basically,
That makes sense. That
because
makes
it'd have
sense.
to be convincing, you know. Because you can do
And now I can,
imitations all you want, but if it's not convincing, then why the fuck is someone gonna believe you?
right. And now I can just play the bagpipes while we travel, which is exciting.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, fucking the bagpipes have become canon. So
But
looks like everyone's here that needs to be here. Mandy will probably be listening. Rage is AWOL because he's doing his nerd shit. And so I'm gonna
Well,
go
no, you're
over.
saying, like, seeing family is nerd shit.
I mean, listen, everything's nerd shit. So, my dear players and dear viewers, I'm gonna go over a couple of things housekeeping wise just to get everyone on the ball for what exactly is coming up new because of me becoming affiliate, but also getting a little bit more into putting things in play that would be fun for us. Um, One of those things is that I added on my About page a nice little game rules segment, which specifically talks about putting bits in to adjust things in the story or adjust things for the party. Um, I'm looking to possibly add more to it or different things to put in, like making polls or stuff like that for choices. If you guys would like to have like the ad- advice of the chat. Otherwise, currently what it is that 250 bits gets a reroll for the players. So that is a free reroll that you guys can bank. So basically, you will have, keep track of how many things you get. Where like if you come across something, you're like, ah, fuck, I failed my deck save. It's like I'm gonna use one of my points to basically my fate points, so to speak, to re-roll it. 500 bits gets me one of those, so I can either force a reroll for one of my NPCs, one of my monsters, stuff like that. 750 lets the chat curse the party. This is very open ended because I don't have necessarily any curses written down. But if the person who puts it forward has a suggestion for said curse, that's something that I can work into. And then finally, if you put 1,000 in, you can name an NPC, a place, or a location. And then, of course, the Discord's always open for you guys to put in side quest ideas for the party to go on, and that includes you guys as players. You can also put those in. Go figure, since you will be, of course, being the people doing it. So, with that, we're gonna go ahead and do a quick recap to make sure everyone's on the same page from what we went over last time. So what happened last time is you guys went to the keep. You finally made it to the old marsh keep, and you came across Jacob, the old commander, who
Fuck, dickhead.
promised to heal you and make you stronger. Just the price that you'd be paying for it would be your weakness, whatever that may become. And so you were put through a significant trial and tribulation of yourself, as well as your own willpower and physical strength, as you try to essentially live through what happened within the keep. You guys were put into multiple fights where it's essentially death matches, and you guys succeeded for the most part. Then eventually it wound up coming to the point where you had to fight each other, and some of you took very interesting roads to kind of mitigate that issue. Some of you took very weird ways out of it. Rage, since he's not able to speak for himself, I will basically say that he took the pacifist route, which was very interesting for him, and it showed a maturity for his character that has kind of been growing. Tovar knocked himself out through a loophole to save Mandy. Rage wound up giving himself in with his fight with Finrod because he didn't want to fight. Nosh unfortunately got headbutted and then knocked out by Coverall, with Rexus coming in with some very nice quips. But you guys...
One
like
question
that.
though.
Yes.
Side note. You had met him before all of this though, Rexus.
Well, yeah, the idea was because my character's shorter and I kneecapped him and then he came down to face height. I was like, nice to meet you. And then I headbutted him.
Yeah, it was a short person joke. That was the idea.
Yup.
Was like Nosh's average 5'11-ish to like 6-ish foot height. Don't remember exactly what it is.
Okay.
Coverall is not. So he just kneecapped this fucking human, and the guy just fell down to his height, was like, hello, headbutt, and then immediately threw him in the fucking sand. Yeah. It wasn't like, I've never met you before. It was more of a, I'm beating your ass, I'm going to do funny one-liners.
That's fair.
Says the king of funny one-liners, Mr. fucking Tovar over here.
Wait, I've met
But-
Overall before then.
But anyways,
Nosh sound like he's got a dick in his mouth while he's talking to
because
us.
he's not at his
Yeah,
home
but think about
computer,
that.
he's working with a low-gain microphone.
Oh my
I'm working with headphones at the moment.
Yeah.
Just a little, like a regular headphones.
It'll be
Does it
fine.
really
It'll
sound
be
that
fine. No, it doesn't sound that bad. It's good enough.
No, yeah, when you actually start talking, I can hear you better. But like when you did the little one
You sound like a Subway announcer.
sentence, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to listen to myself on the screen.
But so basically, you guys were in there for a extended period of time. You guys were eventually found by Fausta, who went through a significant amount of trouble to get the resources necessary to make it up to you guys, as the pathway you had gone down had been kind of become reinfested due to the activity. And so when he found you, he let you know that you guys had basically been gone for 9 months. And after the first 3 weeks, he started getting a force together to go and save you, because he thought that you were killed, that you were lost, that something had happened, and that it had worried him to his core. And so when he finally got to the keep and found you guys alive in the dungeon, was a great moment for him, and he got you out, and then you guys were basically given the choice of how you were going to judge Jacob, where he pulled out his trump card, trying to get you guys to play into what he wanted by giving you a little bit of a Bioshock reference of the "would you kindly." Thankfully, Mandy and Finrod are able to break out of the charm and kind of snap Tovar out of it before he did anything he regretted. And you guys were able to bring him back to the Black Marsh Keep, so that he could be tried through due process, not anything drawn out, but enough where they feel like they're doing it correctly, and then throwing him into a box for the rest of his life unless something else comes up. You guys then return to Macragge, to the Silverthorn Keep, where you basically were met by Greg you were met by Thurlby, you were met by all the other staff of the castle, who thought something had befallen you that was just terrible. And so there was a lot of recovery, a lot of emotions, a lot of just physical rebalancing when you guys finally arrived back at Macragge, at the Silverthorn Keep. And so we basically start where we left off, where you guys are sitting around the table, or we'll start a few hours afterwards. After you guys had had a nice long sleep, you gotten yourself back up to par, still feeling the wounds that were inflicted on you from last session, where Tovar lost an arm. We had Nosh have his mouth sewn shut. Rage had one of his eyes injured, and he lost both of his wings. And we basically start the next morning, where you guys all kind of assemble in the dining hall.
Still vote to have that as a permanent thing done to Nosh. Especially with his fucking butt pipes.
Give some reason to use them that way. No.
So when you guys do find each other in the dining hall in the morning as you have awoken, you do see that Nosh's mouth has been, the sew lines have been cut, and he has been basically superficially bandaged around his mouth for the most part. You see that there are some nasty scars towards the corner of his mouth where they basically cut into the flesh a little bit more to get the sutures in to really close it down. But it looked like Thurlby and one of the essentially doctors were able to kind of cut the wire out and then keep it from fusing. That way he's able to regain use of his mouth at least a little bit. And as you see him sitting at the table, you see him messing with a set of bagpipes.
Put a smile on that face.
Listen, Heath Ledger, slow your fucking roll.
We gonna make you end up like Heath Ledger. You keep fucking acting up.
My bad. Just listening to my bagpipes.
Was that too soon?
Oh boy.
Jesus Christ.
No.
We're off to such a great start. Off to such a great start.
I've got to make up for Mandy not being here.
Fair enough.
Oh my.
But you all come in, sit at the table. You see Nash with his mouth now cut open, working with the bagpipes, and you see that Rage and Mandy have not arrived to the dining hall. So while they can't hear me for a moment,
Do I
for
have
the
what we
rules
were already talking
can't
about
be
yesterday
malicious. Use like genie rules for it.
on the arm? Like the fucking like temporary one?
Yeah, I mean, Thurlby would be bringing you guys some stuff. It's part of the housekeeping stuff that I want to kind of go over once we all kind of got settled after the recap.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
Basically, Tovar, in the morning, you would see Thurlby carrying a large package towards Rage's room, where he'd drop it off, and then would come towards the dining table with a smaller package for yourself. He'd put it in front of you, and it would essentially be a very basic lower arm prosthesis that just has a gripper that's meant for you to basically just grab onto certain objects. It's not dexterous in any sense of the word, but at least gives you access to using your offhand to at least hold your greater weapons. He does tell you that he is working on something a little bit more, but this is what he can patch together fairly quickly.
Well, as long as I can still, get those nice squishy crunchies, I'll be fine.
It definitely will be taking a little bit of use to, but it feels like that it would be relatively natural to kind of get back into the flow of it. Nosh, what the fuck?
Nosh.
Stop
God,
playing your
bagpipes.
bagpipes.
Sorry, I was playing Tripping Up the Boston.
You
So-
fucking bastard.
Off character.
Yeah.
What happens if one of us like cuts said bagpipes?
Uh, you'd have to fix the bagpipes. I don't know. What do you mean if you cut the bagpipes?
No way. He can't fucking like we just walk in, see him on the fucking thing, and then Tovar's just like, "What the fuck is that?" And just like, punk, chops it
So
with the
I'm not
fucking
sure.
Part of my multi-class.
I'm not sure how well you know how bagpipes work. Is that bagpipes are technically two instruments in one?
Yes.
You have the actual reed, and then you
Yes.
have the bag that goes into the secondary acoustic pipes. So if you were to cut it, he could still use it, but it would sound
Yeah,
worse.
Sounds stupid.
It would. He would still be able to play notes off it, but it would sound worse than if you had just left it alone. And he would just have it fixed either by Thurlby or someone who has mending, because I think Mandy has mending as a spell.
Or he would just leave it alone to annoy us.
Yeah, or he would just like not fix it, just be like, "You brought this on yourself. Fuck you."
Okay.
But it also, out of character, it means he wouldn't be able to cast his bard spells. Or if he did, it would be very annoying for you to deal with because the sound would no longer be like at least decent sounding. It would be like squawking. That's kind of how it works now.
My level 1 bard spell, it gives you a extra d6 on your roll. For like attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws.
Yeah, he's got bardic inspiration, which is like the basic spell you get as a bard.
Yeah.
So now he can give you guys little buffs, little buffy action.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
that plus D6 goes to the damage roll, or just the
No,
hit
just
It
to
goes to your
hits
attack
and
roll.
abilities.
roll? Oh.
So basically, any saves you have to do, any checks you have to do, any hits you have to do, you get a d6 attached to it that
And
you can roll.
It lasts 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Is that
So it's helpful
like
asshole.
is that like a short rest type of thing that you get back, or is it
It's a
just
spell
like
spell. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That was all I was wondering.
So real quick, we have a question from the audience. Carson is asking, what are the rules associated with cursing the party? If you curse the party, it has to be a few things. It cannot be deliberately malicious. It has to be something that either causes roleplay or a difficulty they have to overcome. I would rather be fully roleplay based, like making them swap accents, or they have to talk in gibberish and try to decipher what the fuck it means, or their legs become like they're filled with nickels and they get the disadvantage on stealth checks, stuff like that, where it's something that is a short amount of time. It is not outright malicious. You can't be like, "Oh, I cursed one of them into a frog," and they get stepped on by a crazy sorceress who wants to put a flea in a box and hit it with a fucking hammer. Like, no. Like,
Could it at least be a
Tovar's ass
nitro
just lands
frog?
on it.
yeah, I fucking polymorph Finron into a nitro frog, and then he fucking just explodes. Like, no, you can't be outright malicious. The way I'm trying to do is, but you have to take the like Jin approach, the Jin approach in D&D, where it's like it can't be. You have to follow the front. You can't resurrect anyone. You can't kill anyone. You can't make anyone fall in love, and it can't be outright malicious. So like anything funny, haha, that you can think of is in the realm of possibilities. And if you want to ask the question in the chat first before you pay for it, that's also fine.
That's
I'll
all
give you
rest
the
now.
I'll give you the green light for it as we go
Okay,
forward.
What's up, Rage?
Cursing one of us with boobies.
Yeah, I mean that's also something that can occur. You know, it would put different difficulties on you.
Turns
Boobies?
Nosh into a woman.
Why do you gotta come out with that? I don't want to be a woman.
So yeah,
But
basically
it would
you
make your
all
bardic inspiration more like realistic.
no,
Please,
please don't. That's the bard in my Sunday group. It's a dude in a woman's body. It is a very confusing situation he found himself in.
Plus, it'd be hilarious to hear Nosh try and do like a chick voice.
You really don't think I could?
And listen, we're not going down this pathway. We're gonna cut this shit right here. We're gonna go back into what I was trying to do, of being like, all right, so everyone now should be level 5. All of you
Yes.
should be level 5 in your class, minus Nosh, who is a level 4 and a level 1. He's a level 4 fighter and a level 1 bard. But basically, you are all sitting at the table, having a nice little sit down, and you guys seem to hear whispers among the populace that's coming through the castle. You see that a lot of the regular civilians come through the castle since it's such an integral part of Macragge, and it is very large. They come through and they sit at the dining tables, or they come through and they use the shops. Like, Greg is making a killing in being the quartermaster for the castle, because he's able to really kind of peddle wares for people and kind of get things where they need to go.
Because he's the shit.
He's good at his job. And so it's one of those things of that it is open to the public and a lot of people coming through. But you guys start to hear like whispers from the civilians that are coming through that didn't see you when you arrived. They're like, "Oh, I thought they were dead, or I thought they were missing. Like, where have they gone? What happened to them?" And there's a lot of words being thrown around of like your reputations being different, and you're hearing words pointed in your direction that you're not recognizing them off the get-go. Like, you see a bunch of kids pointing at Tovar from across the room. One of them seems to have like a cardboard axe that he's swinging around. He's wearing like torn potato sack as like a tunic, and he's trying to act like a barbarian. He's like, "Look, it's him. I want to be like him. He's my hero. It's the Berserker of the Black Marsh." And you hear a lot of other kids go, "Yeah, but he's not the coolest one. It's the other one." And you have the kids arguing of like who their favorite hero is. As Tovar, you hear that this is what has become of your reputation, is that you are now known as the Berserker of the Black Marsh. You hear a few other words spoken. Nosh, you pick up on that people are calling you Chainbreaker. You're not entirely sure why, but you think back to everything you've done, of that your first instance in Macragge, the family you saved when you killed that sergeant with the help of Tovar in your first encounter, breaking the chains that those troopers had on the civilians, on top of what else you've done in the sense of helping that resurrected hero, and then just kind of being in the area when you have helped set things free, has kind of leaned you into having this reputation of being the Chainbreaker. And you start to have that as like a title that has been placed upon you by the populace.
And I was thinking the Cheese Man, but
No, that is
The
a
big cheese.
high tale that is still talked about in Blair Shore, is the Cheese Man and how we got his shit punched.
Jeez,
Cheese
man.
Man got his shit rocked.
Finrod, you hear a few people point and whisper, because since you look very stereotypical to a monk to an extent, your clothing has changed a little bit as you have gained experience and you've worked with these other heroes to become who you are. You hear people calling you the Outlander, and not in a bad way, but just someone who came from a faraway spot and has just become a patron of justice and balance, working with these heroes and becoming someone of stout might and understanding of the world around them, putting justice and balance above everything else, and making sure that the defenseless are protected and everything else that comes with your creed. But you seem to believe that your title of becoming the Outlander is one of prestige, being found around these different groups that you've worked with.
No, it's,
I like it.
Sorry,
I actually
Bert,
really like it.
It's still on.
I was going to say earlier, but I didn't want to interrupt. Berserker Black Marsh. That's a pretty badass title.
It
Yeah.
is. It's pretty good.
But yeah, Bird, like, is it showing that it's offline?
It says a salty Viking stream offline.
Well, hold up. Let me double check on my end.
My OBS is showing that it's still going, and then like I've even got.
The
Yeah, your stream's still going for me. Are you on mobile, Bird? Maybe mobile's just glitching.
Nah, she
No, on
fucked
my
it up.
computer.
Oh.
It won't even let me do anything with the stream. It just says offline.
Weird.
just refresh the page real quick and see if that does it.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. It's back online.
There you go.
Yeah.
It was like
I just saying,
Quick minute. It was weird.
Huh. Yeah.
Overall,
I don't know.
as you're sitting there, you're seeing your friends, your brothers and sisters that you've come to bond with, these people that pulled you out of a tomb from being the prisoner of a wraith to becoming someone they trust in combat. You start to also hear whispers. You even have a child come up to you, and you recognize the child. It's one of the children you saved in Saint's Welcome. They're there with their mother, that from the outskirts that you pulled from the wreckage. The mother's arm is missing for the most part above the elbow, but she's alive and well, and the child does not have any debilitating injuries because of what you've done. And they run up with a little basket wrapped in a little cloth that's filled with baked goods that you can smell, and they just kind of give it to you, kind of hug your leg, and run away giggling. And the mother looks to you and goes, "It's just a little something that we wanted to give the Hammer of Saints Welcome, the person who helped us out when it was our own worst day."
Overall, will just kind of have a little tear in the corner of his eye and smile and say, "Thank you. It was my pleasure." And reach out and give her a hug in thanks.
She accepts it, and you can see that she's also emotional in the fact that that devastation wrought many lives, but because of your actions along with these companions, these brothers in arms that you stand with, that you were able to mitigate a lot of it, and it seems to have helped spread that reputation. The two names you guys hear tossed around that don't seem to be assigned to any of you here fall into the shoulders of Mandy and Rage. You hear a lot of people talk about Mandy as she is. They start with, "Oh, they remember, but they've looked past it, Bird. Don't you try to think you're going to squeeze out of that one with exploiting citizens." They've let it slide because of all the work you've done over the past almost a year in this world. So, the two names you hear tossed around is that with Mandy, they've seen her ferocity kind of come forth as the days have toiled, and that she has had to force herself to become stronger to only keep up with you as her compatriots, but also with just the fact that she has to take care of the weasels that she has adopted, and that the loss of one of them has racked her so much you could see the fire seeping from her heart. And so she has earned the title of the Boogle Queen, and however she wishes to actually twist that title into what her reputation wants to be is up to her. But you can tell that the citizens around you respect her for everything that she's done, and they do fear her wrath. Not in the sense of that they've done anything wrong, but just the sense of she is not one to be crossed for if she does not get you her summons will. But the last words you hear tossed around is about your last companion, Rage, who still, unfortunately, has reclused himself to his room and has not come out since you have returned. And they just keep calling him Demon. You hear a couple of them have a suffix to the end of it. The Demon of Briarwood, the Demon of the Throne, the Demon of Northam, and all these different words being tossed around, even one of the Demon of the Marsh. And it's just that same prefix marked onto a bunch of these different titles. And some of the civilians are disappointed not to see them. They're understanding, of course. but they're disappointed because they've heard of how terrifying he is in his combat, in the way he tracks, in the way he attacks. How you don't know he's there until he wants you to know. And when he does show himself, he becomes a hyper lethal machine. And they have heard of how his trip through the Black Marsh, the period of time he was away in the old keep with the rest of you, changed him. And that he has come back almost a monster, but in a controlled sense of that he now knows that lethality sometimes comes with a price, but he seems wiser. And that's the scarier part, is that someone with a unbridled flame is not as terrifying as one that can control it. And so the respect that he has gained, and all of you have gained in totality, has raised your prestige of your group much higher than you anticipated when you were originally saved from the revel of Macragge, the city that you have now helped rebuild through your actions and the funds that you have sent back. And so the last thing that I want to give you is the fact that you would all have woken up, essentially, to new abilities that seem to have opened up to you due to whether it was trauma, recovery, or self-reflection of all those months away, or just during the time that you took coming back from the old keep after putting Jacob away into a cell so that he can rot for everything that he's done. We'll start with Nosh. Nosh, you found that those months of silence where you could no longer speak, where you could no longer put your ideas forward, let you focus on your self-reflection, let you focus on listening instead of speaking, and understanding the world around you. You found that now words can both help and hinder, and because of this, you now gain expertise in perception, where you basically double your proficiency bonus on your perception checks.
Hell yeah.
For stealth, for Finrod, for your time fighting in the pits, you focused even more so into your hand-to-hand combat, using both improvised techniques and your own training to help sustain you, as well as to become this idea of not killing those who, unless they have come at you with violent intent. And so you have gained two different things. You have now gained the ability to disengage from combat as a bonus action, allowing you to almost act as a skirmisher. And you've also gained the Tavern Brawler feat, which allows you to use improvised weapons in melee combat. Ooh. For Kovral, after looking over everything you've done, you went through your normal motions in the pits. You went through your normal motions in your self-reflection as you found yourself catching up to a time that had rocketed past you during your captivity with the Wraith. You found that your skills as a paladin, as the shield and sword for the party, putting yourself in the middle of combat and making sure that others around you feel safer, just due to your ability to lash out when those come in to hit those next to you, as your skill with a shield and mace has proven leagues beyond average fighters that you've come across. You have found yourself gaining the Sentinel feat, where on top of now, where you can use your reaction to put disadvantage on an attacking enemy that targets someone within 5 feet of you, you can now have 3 more options to it, where whenever an enemy, you can, if you hit an enemy with an opportunity attack, it reduces their movement speed to 0. And I forget what the second one is, and the third one is that whenever an enemy attacks someone within 5 feet of you, you can use your reaction to strike them down.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you.
We'll go over Mandy's and Rage when we see them, because those two are going to be interesting. But For Salty, for
Yeah.
Tovar, your time in the pits helped temper a fire in you that you didn't know was there until you needed it. Fighting the creatures and understand the nature around you, fighting the great barnacle, and then having to fight people who have been captured, and then fighting your friends, found that you cannot always rely on your rage and your brute strength to get you through certain situations. It caused you to think and reflect, especially after losing your arm as a self sacrifice to keep Mandy and the rest of the weasels safe. You tempered that fire to a point where you can now go further and unleash it as a terrifying inferno when necessary. Though it will put a significant strain on your body, and it may deal more damage than good to yourself. It will, in the term of it, give you the advantage you need when your strength is not enough. And so you feel that you can now control when you do go berserk. And because of this, it seems that you have opened up a new possibility of how your ability works. So when you go into a rage, whenever you are in your current rage state, you can choose to go berserk. This lasts a minute, and will give you the following bonuses. You will gain 1d8 extra damage for your weapon attacks. You get an additional damage die for every 5 levels that your character has. So at level 10 it'll be 2d8, level 15 it'll be 3d8, level 20 it'll be 4d8. You gain Cleave, where the way Cleave works is that you can hit a large swath of enemies at once. The idea here is that if you hit one enemy and your attack reduces them to 0 hit points, you can then follow through and your damage is carried over to the next enemy, and so on, until you basically run out of damage.
I like it.
And the other idea is that because you now have multi-attack, the original Cleave feat no longer exists, where you can attack multiple enemies in a swing, because of the way that they give multi-attack now. So Cleave basically will let you carry damage over two enemies that are within 5 feet of your original target. And it triggers on two things. So I want you to pay close attention. Either if you kill one thing, basically drop it to 0 hit points, or you roll a critical hit. If you roll a critical hit, that damage is transferred to another adjacent creature until the damage dissipates, even if it doesn't kill the first creature you hit.
Okay.
But if you kill a creature on a normal attack and you drop them to 0 hit points, the damage will carry through, but only when you're berserking. The last thing is that you will gain temporary hit points equal to half your hit dice plus your constitution modifier. So you're currently level 5. So you will basically get 2 hit dice plus your constitution modifier and temporary hit points during your berserker state.
That's really good.
Yeah. Well, you fucking send me all of that. That way I can fucking... Because that's a lot.
It is.
That's a lot. That's not just like, oh yeah, you unlocked a feat. You know, like that's
Yeah.
not...
Well, a lot of these with the feats, the feats have a lot of things behind them where you can
Yeah.
just type it in and it pops up. With you, I had to specifically balance yours, because the last caveat you get is that you no longer have to take the roll to go berserk off of your axe.
I've been putting notes in for us for our the things that we received.
Yeah.
If you
I
guys want to check
saw-
the player notes thing.
But yeah, you don't have to take your wisdom save anymore if you take damage using your great axe.
Okay, so it's kind of like what we were talking about with that armor.
I made it not shit. You're welcome.
Okay, cool. So, yeah. All right.
Basically, you can go Super Saiyan if you want to think
Yeah,
of it
yeah,
that way.
yeah,
It's where if you go into your normal rage and you're like, okay, I'm not doing enough, you can go into your Berserker rage to give yourself that advantage.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, but you have less uses of that per day than your normal rages. And I'll give you all the numbers for it. But essentially, when
Okay.
you come out of your Berserker rage, you will deal damage to yourself because you push yourself way beyond your limits.
Okay, so yeah, essentially you ended up taking kind of like the armor, how the armor was and shit,
Yeah.
and like put that. Okay, okay. I like it.
Yeah, and I'll give you all the numbers and shit later, but that's basically what you got. And then with Rage and Mandy, they will get theirs when they are here next session. But with that, you guys are basically hanging out in the dining hall, kind of chatting with the people that are coming through the castle. And you finally see Fausta. So,
Damn it, Bird.
thank you, Carson, for the curse. I'll cover that in a second. uh, so you guys see Fausta come in,
Oh boy.
and
Oh, no.
Fausta speaks to you
God.
guys and basically tells you that he is currently trying to track down the next artifact. But because you guys have been through so much, he was gonna kind of let you guys go do uh, either what you would want or not. Like basically, do as much you want or as little as you want for the next amount of time, however much time it takes for you guys to basically get back up on your feet. So he's gonna track down where the next artifact's gonna be. When he figures that out, he's gonna come back to you guys and basically tell you where you need to go. He believes it's in the southern regions, so somewhere. But he knows that there's some stuff on the bounty board that you could probably take
Yeah.
a look at.
Yeah,
Thanks,
Oh,
I got
Fausta.
his, I got his stream pulled up as well, Rex's.
Yeah.
Thank you though.
Yes,
Oh,
but there's
Fausta, you need a hand or two of that.
listen, it hasn't started yet. You
No.
shut your mouth. I'll tell you when it starts. But he basically tells you that it's probably somewhere in the southern region, and he will send for you essentially when he finds it and when you guys are ready. And so he,
Just the idea of Nosh suddenly hitting on Pasta after everything. Just fucking.
that'd be the worst. I'm not.
See,
I'm not
all I
having
can
that.
think about. This is just Nosh 24/7 though.
No, this is Mandy
Yeah.
24/7.
It's Mandy and Nosh rolled into
Yeah,
one.
I'm a little controlled
Yup.
at least.
So basically, Fausta walks away, and he goes to his quarters to start looking through the tomes that he has, basically going through all the history books. And as you guys are sitting there, you guys are all drinking in the morning, whatever it is that you prefer, and you have someone basically bring you a bottle of wine. The topper looks very fancy. The bottle looks very fancy. The server basically tells you that it was brought to the castle by someone who wanted to basically pay their respects to you guys. And it looks a little older. It's got some dust on it. You can tell that the date on it tells you that it is an older wine, probably very expensive. But the topper of it, the cork, seems to be a heart in the shape of a chess piece. Basically a pawn, but instead of a round ball at the top, it's a heart. And it's a red wine topper. And so the server asks if you would like it. Do you guys have any objections?
I'll chug it. Pour me a glass, baby.
No, I have no objections.
They pour out the wine for each of you. They recork the bottle and set it next to two empty glasses in case Mandy or Rage show up to the table. They give each of you a glass, and you smell it, and it smells floral. It smells delicious. And you feel compelled to just at least try it, if not to drink it. I know with Nosh you just want to slam it because you're a monster. The man just slams an expensive wine back like he's some kind of fucking bastard.
Tovar's more of an ale kind of guy, but I guess I'll give it a shot.
After
I
those
prefer a
last
nice
9
Halo
months,
meat,
booze just sounds nice.
And it's free.
What I'm talking about, Fitty.
So
Yeah.
you guys drink it, and you start to feel happy, like just a shit ton of endorphins, but like way more lovey, clean, happy than normal, where you just want to seduce or hit on everything around you. You feel you just want to share your love with everyone around you. It doesn't care who it is. Um, but the issue is that you think you're saying one thing and it's coming out and it just sounds like shit. It is some of the worst lines that have ever been spoken.
Is there a holy person near me?
There's the paladin next to you, who's the holy
Yeah.
person.
Besides Cobra. If not, then I'll do it to Cobra. I don't care. Like, I'm just wondering.
No, we're in the keep. It's just us.
Well, no, he said that there was. a
Yeah,
bunch
there's
of
you
people
guys
coming
and
in
like
out.
other people in there, but yeah, it's
Oh,
right. You see the
yeah.
immediate four of you sitting at the table, just feeling the effects of this wine.
Hey, Cobra, do you want to commit a sin for your next confession?
I look over at Finrod and I'm like, damn boy, you shit with that
Hey, Nosh, I'm not into watching sunsets, but I'd love to see you go down.
I need each of you to roll me a performance check. I need that from you immediately.
All of us? Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
fucking nat
19,
20!
baby. I got a 19.
I got a nat 20!
Oh, I forgot I had dog food.
Oh
for
my
you. I'm
God.
sorry,
Oh,
This is gonna be
I'm
fun.
almost like crying right now.
Oh no. That yeah, that's
Bear skin?
you said performance, right?
Yeah, performance.
I got a 7.
A seven.
I got a 19, baby.
All right,
I
so
got a 21!
so you guys see Tovar and Nosh just start spouting out these terrible one-liners, these terrible pickup lines to anyone who will listen. There's a few times they get slapped. It doesn't matter who it is, whether it's a man or a woman, they're just throwing these lines out to people, trying to pull on a fish, and they are paying for it. They are just kind of walking with a weird gait, and are just like, hey.
Are you over there undressing the ass of Etheria with your eyes?
It is, if you
This
weren't
is Etheria's ass.
if you weren't currently underneath the effects of this wine, it would be what the kids call major cringe. Whereas you see Finrod and Kovral don't seem to get themselves up off the table from their one-liners. It seems they just keep trying to put it on each other, but every time they try to pass a line to each other, they just die laughing, and they can't seem to focus on doing anything else.
Is there any cheese nearby?
Is there any what?
Cheese.
No, stop
Cheese?
fucking asking about cheese.
I mean, there's
Pull in Blair
He,
Shore.
he wants nacho cheese.
He's intent on becoming.
I mean, there's some, nice charcuterie board cheese, like some hard cheeses.
Oh, charcuterie. I had to cook it. I don't know. I don't have to melt it
I
down.
have to melt it down. Here, hold on. Let me get my little dice tower set up. No, I got beer in the way. Hold on. Let me just use the $1. I don't have enough space on this desk.
Out of my titties.
Here, I'm gonna block this. You find a large, entertaining brie. This brie cheese is easily 2 feet across and 4 inches
let's go.
thick, and is just nice and soft from being in the oven. and it is definitely something where you could just reach your hand in and just scoop out a giant amount of it. Yeah.
I want to I want to make a smiley face, right, with like one part of the cheese on one titty, one on the other, and then like a smiley face on my belly.
Have you undressed yourself?
Maybe.
Apparently.
So Nosh, in his performance, has taken off his upper shirt, and rubs cheese across his pecs and his stomach, making a smiley face, and continues to try and throw terrible one-liners at people. And you just see that no one falls for it. A lot of people are looking at you and you're fucking batshit.
Wait. I got another one.
All
that
right.
This works because it's fucking Tovar and he has a soldier background. Are you a drill sergeant? Because you have my private standing at attention.
Oh my
Jesus.
God.
You guys hear, but Finrod and Coverall, you guys, between your fits of laughter, you hear Tovar in his deep baritone voice saying this to what looks to look like a high elf who's just sitting at a table trying to eat breakfast. And he says it as he's like leaning on the table trying to keep his balance. And you see her just knock the arm out from underneath of him as he just slams to the table and falls onto the floor with just a long punk funk.
I love that
You
you
know-
had us do performance checks for this to see like who's gonna be embarrassing themselves the worst.
I'm gonna say I fall out of my
just-
chair laughing at the table, like
Yes.
onto the ground because of what just happened.
Cobral's just sitting there doing the freaking like laugh where you're freaking like smacking your leg because you're out of air.
I want Tovar to fucking get back up and act like nothing happened, and then go to the next.
Give me another
person.
performance check for Tovar.
God damn it! Oh, please be another nat 20. Oh no!
What did you get?
8.
So you try to pull yourself up, and you kind of stumble a little bit. You're like, "It's all right. I expected that." You definitely have not recovered anything from that occurrence. You are still kind of definitely being looked at with some side eyes. And as you kind of pull yourself up and dust stuff off, like looking for your next person to try and talk to, you start to feel the claws of whatever was in that drink kind of loosen as you suddenly realize where you are in the room, and you are wondering why everyone's looking at you funny. And as you're wondering this, you look to your left, and across the room, you see Nosh grabbing his belly that has its cheese smiley face on it, and is kind of jiggling it and saying like pickup lines at people. As Nosh
Oh,
then
no.
realizes what he's doing, as the claws
Are
of
you a
that drug
mouse?
also release.
Are you a mouse? Can you lick the cheese off me anytime, baby?
And as you finish that pickup line, as these people in front of you, it doesn't matter what gender at this point, are just mortified, and you suddenly realize what you just said. As you look down, you see yourself covered in cheese.
I look down and just, oh look, there's some brie. Start scooping cheese and eating it.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Doesn't even notice that he's fucking half naked from the waist up, or that he has cheese on himself. He's like, oh shit, brie.
He not gonna let that good shit go to waste?
Brie cheese is so fucking good, bro.
And then
I love
Finrod
brie.
and Coverall, you guys kind of sober up first through your laughing fits, and you retain most of the memory of what occurred, as you are still chuckling very deeply as you watch Tovar and Nosh come to their sobriety.
I'm nonchalantly eating cheese off my titties.
I don't
I'm
think
just gonna
I'm
go-
gonna be having any more of that, but that was quite the show.
Cobra, that was some hard-hitting wine, wasn't it?
Hey, that it was. I think we should probably pour out the glasses for the other people. I don't think they need it.
I think we should save it.
I kind of like the idea of saving it for them.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yes, I agree to that statement.
I suppose I've been outvoted.
Just so you guys know, the next one that I was gonna say was treat me like a pirate and give me that booty.
Oh my goodness.
That's the
Just
worst.
to go off of keeping it with them drinking that one though, like, hey Cobra, I think everyone needs a little loosen up after what we just dealt with for 9 months. I think that'll be a nice loosen up for them when they show up.
Fair.
I look over
yeah,
at-
like if you hadn't walked off, I was thinking of one. I was gonna be like, did you just roll a natural 20? Because your ass is lethal.
I look over at
Fucking breaker,
Cabral and
Jesus.
Cause yeah, I was gonna say that one to Tovar before he walked off, but then he already walked off. So I was like, I'll just sit here and laugh.
I look over at like Cabral and Finrod. I'm just like, at least I kept my pants on this time.
Fair.
Hey, it's a step in the right direction.
We're getting better with the cheese.
Don't fucking let him near Fausta.
Oh god.
Oh,
Don't
wait,
let him. He is not in the room.
damn.
He has long been gone.
Yeah, he saw Nosh and he saw that there was cheese in the room with Nosh, and he's like, before he discovers it, let me just get the fuck out of here.
He was just like, and
Trauma.
out of here. He just, not sitting here, thanks.
Fausta has PTSD of his armor getting dirty.
I mean,
No.
Not even of Nosh, but
PTSD.
like just of his
I was
fucking.
about to say the naked cheese man just running around.
Oh no, it's not even anything to do with you. It's the fact that his armor got dirty.
yeah, it's not even you.
Yeah.
It's just the fact it got dirty, and he was very upset about it.
Yeah. Oh, for fuck's sake! I hope that who is it, Lumos? I hope that they enjoyed the one-liners from Nosh and I.
Oh, Carson was loving it. She thought it was the funny. She was the one that put the curse in. Because she was asking me about it, so she is ecstatic. She thought it was the funniest thing in the fucking world.
All right.
So, you guys,
Fuck me.
let's do.
God damn, that was a good laugh. That was a good curse. That was fucking funny.
That was a good one. That was
Yeah,
a very
awesome.
nice curse by her.
As soon as I read it, I instantly just grabbed my phone and Googled like bad.
That's why you
Pickup
had
lines.
them ready. I was sitting there, I was like,
Yeah.
how do
The
I
only one that was improv was the fucking
soldier one?
Etheria's ass one.
Oh, okay.
So, as you guys recover from your hit line inducing drama, you finally make your way over to at least spotting the bounty board and where it's posted. You see that Thurlby is working very, very quickly and very hard in his workshop, making things for different people to keep, repairing items, or getting stuff staged for you guys when you would require it. You see Greg is working very well. Him and his brothers running the quartermaster shop, the general store inside the keep, doing a very wonderful job about it. And past the general store entrance, you see a very basic looking board made out of planks that have been kind of nailed together with a bunch of different parchments kind of stuck to the front of it with nails. Some of them are either letters for help, or some of them are just letters about situations that someone could be needing an extra hand with. But there's a few. And so it's just, if you want to look at them, you can. And I'll give you basically what each one is. There's only 3 on the board that look interesting for this point in time.
Okay. Are we attempting to start the congregation tonight?
I would recommend not until Mandy is here. Just because One, I have to go over her workshop stuff with her and Rage,
Yeah.
but also that is going to be like, a pretty heavy on the mechanical and RP quest,
Okay.
because of what you are trying to do.
Okay.
So I wouldn't
Yeah,
start it tonight, but it is something that I have in the works that I'm putting together for you.
Okay. Yeah, because I know the Boogle, we were gonna do something with that as well, and then the congregation would be going back up like in the marsh area. So
Yeah.
that's why I didn't know. So probably tonight would just be like side quests and shit.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Okay.
basically like, until you guys either I deem it or you guys want to, it's gonna be mostly either bounties or side quests, just to help you
Okay.
guys get either money, loot, stuff like that. You know, pretty basic things.
Got it.
I do
Stuff
need
that'll
to
help
pull
us
up.
better ourselves.
Yeah, basically, either just getting you guys into the swing of things, or um, just doing it, making it happen, all that kind of good shit.
Yep.
All right, so that's there. I need that up, and I need this up. Cool. I just need my random table up for drops and whatnot. You know, as you do. So, basically, the few bounties on the board that are entertaining, or at least interesting for you guys to look at, is that there is a letter posted from some groundskeepers saying that a catacomb has been unearthed in the cemetery of Blair Shore, and it seems to be a problem, and they need help with it. They don't exactly say what. All they say that it is some kind of catacomb that's been found underneath the cemetery in Blair Shore. There is a wanted poster for some merchants that had gone through Northam and Saints Welcome and through some of the other smaller linchpin towns. Apparently, they were selling faulty magic items and have been trying to basically dine and dash, and so people are trying to look for them, hunt them down, you know, have them answer some questions of why. And the last one, I just had it. Oh god, I just had it written down here and it's done disappeared. Oh no! I lost my place in my list. Oh, it's a, there's a... Basically, there's been a investigation opened into a fire that has started up in the woods to the southeast, closer to the Setlands, where apparently some treants are being threatened by some type of wildfires that just seem to be random. And they're trying to look into that as well.
So
I'm thinking Blair Shore or the wildfires, maybe.
well, what I was thinking is we could possibly take care of two things at once. Or not necessarily two things at once, but we could be able to tackle two bounties. Since you said the merchant or merchants was mainly up in like Saints Welcome and Northam, which is up at the top. Blair Shore is up at the top, so we could possibly tackle both of those at the same time.
The only thing I would want to say too is the wildfires one, just because there's trance. Probably waiting for Mandy, since she's a druid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
we
So
could
I'm
do
like for
the
either the merchants or the catacombs.
yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. We could go
Are
with
we
those.
able to knock out both of those?
I mean, it comes down to you basically uh, working some charisma. I mean, it is a possibility of you actually getting both of those done. It's just you have to find one of them, and the other one's
Yeah.
in Blair Shore. So,
So, I mean, we could kind of go to this town first and kind of do like a up and down, and then we can hit Blair Shore on our way back to McCrag. If you guys are up for that, and then we can ask around in this town, we can ask around
Go
in
do some
Northam,
investigating.
and then ask around in here, and then ask around in Blair Shore when we go there for the catacombs, and then kind of see where it takes us.
It doesn't seem like a bad idea.
I'm in agreement with that.
That works.
So we're starting with the hunt for the merchants then.
Yeah. We'll take both of the bounties with us. That way, you know, we have them on there. God damn it, Nosh. I know that's you, Bird.
No.
Fuck it.
The little
Yeah,
giggle.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Plead the fifth.
Clean up.
But yeah, Bird, so I think we're all in agreement on running it that way.
Cool. Yeah. So, um, you guys basically get yourselves up and rolling, and basically get yourselves up to Blair Shore with the two bounties in hand. Basically, going to be looking for the merchants who are peddling. Basically, yeah. So you want to go northwest.
Yeah,
Alright.
so we want to go towards this little town and then up to Northam, and then from Northam go to this town and then hit Blair Shore on the way back to McCrag, doing kind of like a big
Yeah.
circle.
Or
Can I just also do like one thing really quick?
yeah.
I wanna say like, hey guys, since like we're doing it this right now, I wanna hand like Tovar and Nosh 5 bandages each at the moment, just so everyone has a little bit of healing on them.
Not a bad plan.
Sounds good to me.
Wait, we have a quartermaster, right?
Yeah. You have Greg.
Greg,
Yeah, so does that mean that like Greg can like give us like potions and healings and stuff like
I
that
mean, he
before
can't
we leave?
give you stuff, but he can definitely sell you stuff at like a lower price. Because he is the merchant, he's trying to basically fund the castle and everyone in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you got coin, he's probably got some that he can get you.
yeah, I'm poor right now.
I mean, yeah, I can buy some more healing. It never hurts to have more healing, especially since we don't have our healer, like our main healer. Like I know
Yeah.
you have stuff that you can do.
Well,
Cobra can also heal.
well, you're missing
Cobra, but-
both the ranger and the druid, who both have like 3 uses of cure wounds each.
Yeah.
Which is a major deficit when you guys are doing stuff. So yeah, I mean, you can go talk to Greg and see what he's got.
Yeah. Let me go talk to Greg and see what he's got. Go see my little buddy.
Yeah, so you go and just take a quick stop over at the Gen Store entrance, which is right next to the bounty board, and you see Greg and his brothers speaking to numerous people as they're selling supplies and getting stuff in. They're getting shipments in and they're working through them. You see that everything is very well organized for 3 kobolds. And that everything looks ship-shape. And they see you and they go, "Big friend!"
Little buddies.
Greg,
Just wondering what you guys had to sell.
Greg was so worried much, but see big friend strong again, healed, whole. At least you have metal hand.
It's just a temporary one.
Here you go, bird. You want me to hydrate? This is what I got.
There you go.
I just hear a demented giggle and a can cracking open.
Because you redeemed hydrate, and I was like, fuck you, have another beer in my hand. Just like.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, Greg's just happy seeing. He goes, big friend, yes, it's temporary. We'll fix. Greg will work with Thurlby. Thurlby, smart, very good. What can Greg and brothers help?
Well, gonna go take care of some bounties, and with Rage and Mandy sort of out of commission at the moment, we're worried about making sure that we have enough healing and, possibly maybe a armor, depending on what you got.
Yes, Greg may have things. As for armor, I don't think I have much else that would be of use to you and other strong friends. But magic, yes, we have few. He shows you where they have some of their potions set up and everything else, and you can see that there are a pretty good number of potions of different colors and sizes all up on this rack. That he's just kind of pointing towards and kind of showing you to it. Anyways, we have many to choose from. We have potions of healing, of strength, etc. Many things that Greg found useful.
Sorry, I was looking at like different potions and shit like that, and I saw that there was one that's called Potion of Animal Friendship.
Yes, there is that. That is a thing that you can get.
Yeah.
Not from Greg, but it's something that you can find.
Oh, yeah. So what would like Greg have? Like
He
common
would
stuff?
have basically pretty common stuff. He'd have probably potions of healing, maybe a couple potions of greater healing, probably potions of resistance for disease and toxins and stuff like that. Um, Nothing really out of the ordinary. Something that, for his position with his supply chains, that he's able to kind of have for you guys.
Okay. Yeah, I'll probably. How much are the potions?
So usually a regular potion of healing goes for about 50. For you guys, it's gonna go probably for about 25, since you kind of own the keep.
Hmm.
So he's probably gonna get it to you at cost. So like a regular potion of healing is gonna be 25, and a potion of greater is gonna be about 50.
Okay. Um, Finny, how many potions do we have left? Do we have any left?
So I still have one of my potions of healing, and then I have one of Rage's potion of healing and greater healing. On top of the fact that I gave you each 5 bandages, I still have 10 bandages
Okay.
for like all of our healing at the moment.
So,
I also have a potion of healing and 5 bandages before Finrod gave me 5 bandages.
okay. So you said 50 for the graders and then 25 for the normals?
Yeah, from Greg specifically. Then he has a few, but you also have to keep in mind is that like out of character is that you'll need to stack up a lot on your health stuff. You can if you so wish, but utilizing your short rests would also be
Oh, yeah,
beneficial.
that's true too.
And short rests are really good for me. So I'm always
Yeah.
down to take one because I get all my ki back off of a short rest.
And basically, if you spend an hour, you get a hit die. If you spend more than 1 hour, you get multiple hit die back.
Yeah. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Because I have 205 gold. So, like, I can buy a couple more, like, potions.
It wouldn't
I
hurt
don't
to have
see
extras.
harm in you holding a couple, just so that way you also have like a potion because of the bandages are only a 1d4. So
Should I
potion of
get
healing's 2d4 plus 2.
should I get normal potions of healing, or should I get like some graders, or what?
Graders are 2d8, and then regulars are 1d8.
A regular? Oh, it says 2d4 when I clicked on it
No,
for the
well,
potion of healing. 2d4 plus 2 is what it says on the.
no, well then
I
that's
mean,
fine.
D&D Beyond.
technically, what's 2d4s?
Well, it's
Same.
the average. That's what it's looking at. Is that it
Yeah.
means that your lowest can be
Yeah.
4 instead of 3. So your average is better.
Yeah.
It's
So-
potatoes. It'd either be a 2d4 or a 4d4. Like it's the same thing. Basically, you're looking at either a max of 8 or a max of 16,
Yeah.
plus the 2.
So, but yeah, I mean, I can buy like a 1 or 2 of the graders and like 1 or 2 of the normals, or
I mean, it wouldn't hurt. I only got 9 gold, so I can't really do much
yeah.
as help.
Yeah, I've only got 22 gold. I can.
I mean, maybe 2 regulars and 1 greater, just to like.
I
Yeah.
can throw in
Cost
for a
a
grader if
100.
you want me to.
What's that?
I can throw in for a grader if you want me to.
I mean, it's fine. Like I said, I can cover this. Fucking
Alright.
yeah. Yeah, so we'll do two of the normal and then 1 of the graders. So, it's what, 150? No, that's 100. I couldn't math for a second. Go fucking
Yeah, because he said
figure.
25,
Ha, ha, ha.
25, and then 50.
Yeah. I don't know, Bern went quiet.
I mean, it's up to you guys. Whatever you want to decide. Honestly.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do one grader, and then what do I do? Just add it to my backpack or my
Yeah,
equipment?
just throw it in your backpack.
Okay, so 1 grader, 2 healing, and then minus 100. Okay.
All right. So, with your gear and your new potions in your pockets, you guys are ready to go forth for these bounties. And so you guys prepare yourselves to set out. Does anyone have any last minute things?
How long do you think the whole like journey would take for us to walk along? Or
You
drive?
guys will have your carriage, so it will probably to get to the first town to the northwest take you maybe like an hour or so. Not
So, like,
super
the whole
long.
Trip would be
Roughly
under
about
8
like
hours.
2. The whole thing, depending on everything, would probably be what, like 2 days time.
Yeah, I would definitely give yourself about 2 days outside of the keep at most. 'Cause it's probably going to be a travel time of at least an hour and some change to get to the first town, about the same to get to Northam. From Northam to the town that's just northwest of Blair Shore is easily 4 hours, and then from there to Blair Shore is just an hour. So travel time in and of itself, you're looking at least 8 if you were just going to do it round trip with no stops. But that's also taking into account of like not hitting rough terrain, not hitting encounters.
Okay. Yeah, I'll use it now. We'll have a chance to rest at some point. Coverall will walk up to the other three with a strip of white cloth and use a second level spell slot to cast Aid, which bolsters up to 3 creatures within range of my choice, so them, for up to 8 hours, for 8 hours with 5 additional health points.
So 5 temporary hit points. Very nice.
Their maximum health, and the way it talks about it, it acts like it's real health for 8 hours.
Here,
It
let
sounds
me...
weird. Does it? I mean, I'm not sure. Because it says each target's hit point maximum and current hit points increase by 5 for the duration.
Your spell bush allies with toughness and resolve should have 3 creatures in range. Each target's hit point maximum and current hit points increases by 5. Yeah, so it's not temporary. It's your guys' actual hit points increased by 5 for the next 8 hours.
Nice.
Yeah, so if your maximum is 50, you are now at 55 for the next 8 hours in game.
I'm just gonna put it as
Temporary.
You can put a temporary just to make sure.
oh,
you
max
fill it,
HP
doesn't it?
modifier.
Yeah.
There it is. Aha. Found it.
Oh! Oh, not minus, goddammit.
No, for you, Tovar, it's definitely minus. You don't know how aid works. You're like, magic.
Listen, alright? I know how to fucking reverse math properly.
I know how to remove number and add number.
Yes.
Look, I can do with hands. Look, if I slam 2 finger together, 1 hand become 2, and I slam together again, 2 hand become 1.
Tovar knows how to make bigger, okay?
So if Tovar take 1 hand with 3, 1 hand with 2, and put together, 1 hand make 5.
God damn. And I'm imagining him, like, lifting up fucking, like, the prosthetic fingers.
Just
Can separate him. Just fucking do that. God damn it.
ho.
You wanna know what's fucked up is, like, I'm not even, like, a stereotypical, like, stupid barbarian. Like,
No, you just, you're a little goober. You just have some goof moments.
Like, I have 10 and 10, you know, like, no negatives, no nothing, you know, like, I could have been, like, a -6 intelligence or something, but no.
Shut up.
Like a -6 intelligence where you just are, you cannot read, you're illiterate, you can barely speak common phrases.
Can have Mandy teach me the alphabet.
It's like fucking playing Fallout New Vegas with a 1 in intelligence. You just grumble at people.
Grumble, grumble, grumble.
Grunt, 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 ooga booga noises.
So before we go to head out, I want to have Tovar kind of like let out like a whistle, and then fucking BFG come like fucking blah, 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 like plopping out of the fucking, you know, his little hiding nook and fucking like come up to his side and like, you know, like looking at him like a good dog, just like wagging his tail and shit.
Comes up his little house in the moat.
Yeah, it's, you step outside of the keep and you basically let out a whistle and you just hear a splash and then just a bunch of thumping as this this giant gator comes out of the fucking, like, a pathway that's been cut out of the moat and up onto the bridge where you're standing, and it's just ecstatic to see you. You can see his tail is kind of trying to wag, but it's not something that gators can do. So you see, like, the tip of it's kind of moving, and his mouth is kind of slightly open, but his, like, head tilted to the side at you.
Yeah, there's a good boy. Alright,
It's not a
Tovar
mule.
is ready. This is what's happening right now.
Just pet the gator, pet the BFG.
Yeah, just
That'll do, pig.
yeah,
That'll do.
patting him.
And so, you guys set out for the town to the northwest. You get there without really any major problems. It takes you about an hour and 20-ish minutes to get there by a carriage.
Would I be able to be resting in the carriage?
I mean, yeah, you can do a short rest. You can take a quick snooze.
Rexus is like, yes, yes, spell slot, come back.
Yes.
You can do yourself a
Oh, wait.
quick snooze.
Oh wait, no. Second level spell slots don't come back on a.
Short rest. Nope.
You need long.
Yeah.
Oh well, fair enough.
You just took a snooze. You're like, I don't want to do anything. I'm just fucking. Like, yeah.
I buffed them. I'm gonna take a nap.
Like any good healer, my job is done. You haven't done anything. Yes, I have.
I'm playing the bagpipes the whole time.
Of course you are.
Oh,
Or practicing. You're practicing your bagpipes.
We have
Trying.
him. We have him in the animal carriage instead of BFG, and BFG's in the actual carriage with us.
yeah.
That's a weird name.
Laying down
Fucking
his
Nosh is
BFG.
sitting in the trailer in the back. You just hear shitty bagpipe music as he's practicing, and the BFG's is in the full carriage, just like, oh man, this is weird.
I got space for activities.
Look at all this space for activities as this 18-foot gator is like curled up in the center of this fucking carriage.
Being a good boy.
It's just like, how did he fit in here?
Question: is Fausto with us?
No, he's not with you guys. It's you guys are on your own for this time.
Okay.
We're going on an adventure.
He's looking into what finding the next side
Yeah.
effect for us.
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, so you guys make it to the first town, hour and 15-ish minutes. And you get there and you see that it's relatively normal. There's no anything really interesting in this town going on. Everyone's kind of just going about their daily activities. Farmers around the fields, merchants around the bazaar. It's all relatively normal. There's no haunted buildings. There's no crazy things going on. It's actually relatively kind of boring for you guys at this point.
Look how you always have to like point out no haunted buildings.
Yeah, no haunted buildings. I have to be very specific with my words. If there's a building that looks there, they're like, oh, but is it haunted? No, it's not. No.
Absolutely fucking not.
That is not what is occurring currently at this time. Thanks.
Tovar sees like a ran down building and he's like, it could be haunted.
You hear a voice in your head. No.
No.
Gods?
The gods. The gods. speak to me.
Huh?
It's the gods spend all that energy just to tell you no. Do not cease.
Fuck, I think the paladin might be onto something.
I think the paladin may be right.
Yeah. Gods are just sitting there. Stop it. No more filler.
No more filler. Cease your existence. Thanks. You know how hard it is to create more ghosts every time you fuck it up? That spider was my accountant.
Oh, no.
So, again, this town is relatively boring. There's no one really screaming. There's no crime that you can see. It's all pretty standard, honestly.
So,
Alright. So I guess we'll start
Let's see.
asking questions.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, you want to go to the tavern to go ask questions?
Yeah!
Yeah.
So, I wanted to be noted. Are we like, we stopped like in the middle of the like marketplace
Yeah.
type of area?
I mean, in the town square, essentially, yeah.
So I wanted to be noted that me and BFG kind of both hop out of this fucking carriage at the same time. That way there's just like a thud, you know?
It's just
Kinda
a hearty slap.
Yeah, people are like, what the fuck?
It's just a hearty slap as you step out, and it's just like, oh no.
I'm just playing the bagpipes in the back.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right now
he's
I'm
like
looking at it.
the
I'm
thief
just
deterrent.
shaking my head, going, "There's nothing subtle about us at all, is there?"
Not anymore.
I'm listening to a bagpipe cover of Enter Sandman by Metallica right now.
Jeez.
Jesus.
Give me DMC.
Not even kidding.
In response to Finrod, Corporal just kind of looks over at Tobral, looks down at his plate armor, hearing the freaking bagpipes in the background, just, no!
No.
What do you
Well,
mean?
we might as well
Tovar
join
and
'em.
BFG are very subtle.
What
Yeah, I
do
think
you
my
mean?
bagpiping skills are pretty subtle.
Stealthy like cats.
Dope.
We are stealthy like felines, as you see just fucking like slunka, 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 slunka.
Fuck.
Yeah, so I mean, you guys go around asking questions. I mean, you find that there's really nothing crazy going on at the moment. It's all relatively quiet. You get to the tavern as Tovar and the BFG enter in through the door. Um, and you definitely are getting some stares as you and the BFG step into the tavern.
That's
As-
how I enter the door.
Just honk.
28 athletics
Jesus
check.
Christ. You kick the swinging doors off the hinges as you step through, making a loud crash as you thump into the room as they just hear dumpa 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 from the BFG as he comes up behind you and like hisses at people as they see this 18-foot alligator just chilling. And because they're not near a heavy river delta or a swamp, they don't exactly have seen a lot of gators, especially ones of this peculiar size.
Big
Um,
fucking dragon.
definitely starts a little bit of a panic as people are like, "What the fuck?" And then, as
Sorry about
as
the
you
door.
as you step, it was like the swing saloon doors from like the Wild West. We just like fucking just knocked him off their fucking hinges. They just like pushing through. He's like, BAM!
Sorry.
And you two enter as the rest of you guys are kind of like trailing up behind them. And as you enter,
Oh.
there's a little bit of a panic as they see you. And like they're hearing bagpipes outside. They see you two enter. And at first, like the saloon goes quiet. The tavern goes quiet. And you can see a lot of people's eyes go really wide as you're like, the fuck?
I wanna awkwardly walk in last, like 5 minutes after everybody else walks in, just doing a bagpipe solo.
There you go. Alright, so Nosh is just slowly walking towards the tavern, playing, just doing his thing. And as you enter, you see everyone kind of gets really quiet and like eyes get really wide, almost as if they're panicking. You hear a woman's voice pick up from the side, almost in an excited tone, and goes, "I recognize that ass. That's the Berserker of the Black Marsh." And you start hearing cheers and squeeing as you get rushed by a bunch of fangirls.
Hello. Hello.
They are swarming you and like they're petting BFG. He's loving it. You're
Yeah.
confused but also happy.
Etheria's ass!
And like Kavral and Finrod, you guys enter as you see this mob of people around Tovar, just like touching him and like cheering over, like fangirling over him, and everyone's just like, "Oh my god,
And I mean,
it's Tovar!"
considering how tall he is,
Yes.
touching him is probably the butt.
Yeah, probably.
God damn it, Bird. I swear to fucking God. Lower your fucking bagpipes.
And as you are entering, you guys hear the bagpipes playing behind you. As you can you see Nosh slowly making his way towards the tavern, as like he's stopping, like checking his finger positions, and then continuing to play. And you just see Tovar being swarmed by these people in the tavern who came in for a drink and are now basically in front of essentially a celebrity of Etheria's ass, if you will. there are people like taking carbon sketches of like them like holding the cheeks, like guys like doing speed sketches because they don't have cameras.
Yes, yes. Come take a selfie with Etheria's ass, the berserker of Black Marsh.
Someone
Tovar,
hands
you gonna
you
get a caricature of your ass?
caricature of your ass. Someone hands you a small wooden board and like a small chicken, and asks you to carve your signature in with the bird's beak, and
Wait.
and goes, "It's called a tweet. Can you do it?"
For the people of Etheria, yes.
She just like she just like with the bird's beak, like just basically a fucking smallish
Grab
chicken. Yeah, and you hand the chicken the plank bag. It has like your really shitty signature, and you guys see that as he does it, it's a very long signature. It is more than 5 letters, which definitely is like Tovar has a last name? Question mark. And it's all the rage nowadays.
Fucking hate you. Why would the chicken though?
It's a bird. It's called tweeting.
Chickens don't tweet.
That's not the point.
It's still funny.
You're missing the poetic irony of it, you schmuck. Don't put holes in my joke.
It was a funny fucking joke. That poor chicken though, he got choked out.
He did. He got choked out.
Choking the chicken.
So,
Alright, and we're back.
as you, and scene. And as you're seeing everyone kind of fangirling around you, you can tell that everyone here is having a pretty good time. There's nothing really seems to be amiss. Like Finra and Coverall, as you guys are kind of watching, you don't see there's anything fucking weird going on. Nosh, as you're walking up to the tavern, you're not seeing anything weird in the marketplace or in the street. It's just, the weirdest thing is Tovar carving something into a plank with a bird, and then people drawing caricatures of people like holding his cheeks up. Like, that's the weirdest shit you're seeing right now. Past that, it looks like a relatively normal town. Like, if you're looking for these merchants, they're probably not here.
Holding my cheeks.
Listen, it's Etheria's ass. It's important. It is.
I want to, you know how we were
It
talking
is being
about like
praised.
different scenes that we want to see animated. I want this scene to be animated. There's so much
Of just
fuckery going on.
you punching the door in and then scaring the shit at everyone, and then someone being like, "I know that ass. That's Tovar the Berserker of Black Marsh," and then you just get swarmed.
Oh, for fuck's
Oh, no.
sakes, it's so great. Piping intensifies, god damn it. Oh.
But yeah, it's, you guys don't see anything super fucky going on in this town. It all looks relatively normal, or at least normal enough that you can safely say that if the merchants did come through here, either their effects haven't been noticed or they just haven't come through here. So it's
Tovar getting a girlfriend here or what?
no, dude. These are groupies. You ain't getting nothing. You're getting a bunch of like fangirls who are material girls, like, or and guys too. Like, everyone
Pick
loves
me,
you.
pick me.
Pick me, pick me, pick me. Like, imagine you're Gene Simmons at a concert in the 80s. It's kind of what you're dealing with at this point.
Oh, no.
So I would be getting something.
Vince Neil.
I mean, you wouldn't be getting
I'd
anything
be getting
because
all of it.
you currently have an 18-foot gator you have to corral and then get out of the building, as he's being loved on significantly more than you are.
Gators
I'm
are
just
like,
keeping my
my
bag
God,
tied."
civilization's amazing.
He's like, all of these people love me. Alright, so I guess we would, after, like, they calm down a little bit and, everybody gets their tweets, we would kind of go to the barkeep and fucking, talk to him a little bit, see if he has anything, or do you guys just want to kind of like move on, like see if the barkeep's heard anything?
Well, barkeep's always a good person to ask for information.
Yeah, I mean, you walk up and you talk to the barkeep, and as everything finally calms down, God damn it, Nosh! As everything calms down and you guys go up to the barkeep, Nosh finally enters the tavern, playing slightly better on his bagpipes, but the acoustics change from outside to inside is intense, and a bottle is immediately thrown at his head as he's playing.
I was playing Ragnar the Red on the bagpipes. Come on.
It's not the fact you're playing it badly, it's just that bagpipes are loud and not meant to be played indoors.
Oh, yeah. That's okay, I got the used to it.
They'll get used to it. Oh, okay. Nosh is gonna get mobbed for a different reason. Surprise.
Surprise, surprise.
Surprising no one.
God damn it, Bird! We'll mute you.
This is gonna be like the frickin' Frida.
So you guys talk to the barkeep as Nosh gets a bottle thrown at his head, and he's like, "All right, fine," and Nosh puts the bagpipes down for a minute as he comes up behind you guys, and the four of y'all are at the counter, and you describe what these merchants look like to the barkeep based on the papers you have. And he goes, "We ain't seen nothing come through here. No one's been selling magical items that we know of. It would definitely be something we would have heard, since this is a smaller town. People don't exactly have a lot of money to throw around, except people who come through, traveling, of course. Well, I don't think they would stay around to complain."
Alright, well, if you do hear of anything, send word to McCrag. Our keep is there. I don't know. That's all
I don't know. We'll just send word to somebody. I don't know.
Send word to McCrag and ask for Fausta, and Fausta will make sure that we hear it.
He goes, "All right, I'll send it to this Fausta fella, and see if anything pops up otherwise." And he just kind of goes back to polishing the glasses in his hand. You feel like the conversation has reached the end of its dialogue tree.
Yeah. I don't know why everybody's making the barbarian talk.
You just happen to be the one talking.
Barbarian loves talking.
I came back from going pee and you were walking up and talking.
Fair enough.
Coverall had to find the
so
little
guys, you
dwarf's
wanna have a
room, and
drink?
you were just fucking...
Or
I'll
move to
take a
the
couple
next.
drinks.
I mean, we're in a tavern. We might as well have at least one drink. Or 10.
Or
It is
10.
currently 1 in the afternoon, and so it's just like, you ask the barkeep
Alcoholic.
for a few, and they're like, "Yeah, sure, you guys can have a couple in the house. What do you want?"
What's the strongest thing you got?
He goes, that's a hard question. We have," and he looks at you and goes, "Species and age."
What'll make
What?
you?
He
sounds
goes,
interesting.
"Species and age."
Species and age.
Can I look at the bottle?
No, he's asking you, what
Oh,
are you,
species
and
and
what
age.
the fuck is your age?
I thought it was a drink, bro.
No, he's asking you. He's like IDing you basically, and he asks all of you the
Human-
same question.
Human 40, I think.
40, you think?
I don't know my age.
I think he actually put that in the fucking description.
It's
too, if
probably
I
there.
remember
40, I
correctly.
think. Yeah.
40, it's 40-ish, yeah.
And
40-ish.
as you're like 40-ish, You see him pull out this thick fucking tome as he sets it on the table, and it says barkeeping records, species and age, drinking limits. And he opens it up, starts flipping through the pages, and gets the human. Goes, "All right, they've changed it. Yeah, you're good." And he points to Kovral and like species and age.
Dwarf.
Stop! I'm gonna stop you right there. You're a dwarf. You're fine. He points to the mug. Goes, Finn, you. What's your species and age?
Wood elf, 26. I went young.
Fucking.
Wait, 26 as a wood elf? You're like a baby.
He flips to it. It's just like,
It is.
well, you ain't getting anything from me, I guess, unless. He looks at you and goes, are you a secret shopper?
Huh? Nope.
He kind of eyeballs you a little bit and goes, you're not from the board, are you?
The board.
Sting.
Like, question
He's
that?
asking
Like,
about-
I don't even know what you're talking about.
He looks at you and he flips through it and he points to Tovar and goes, big guy, species and age?
Really?
Answer the question.
Goliath, 31.
Great. Wonderful. I have everyone's ID. Here's your fucking drinks. He just pours it and he goes, alright, you, human, you wanted the hardest thing on the menu. What we have here is dwarven rot gut.
You're in for a fun time.
I'll take 3.
I'll take the
As
bottle.
So-
Tovar holds up like 5 fingers.
So he goes to give you a drink of it for the human, and like he's looking through the book and he finds like the sizes for it, and he hands you this shot glass of it. He goes, "This is a full drink of rot gut for a human."
Can I just have the bottle?
No.
Oh, believe me, you
No.
don't want to do that.
He goes, "You can get either human, dwarf, dragonborn, Goliath. Those are your size choices. I pray you don't go above dragonborn."
Give me a Goliath size.
He sighs deeply, and just every time, and he fucking takes the shot himself. He looks to be a very long in the face elf, and just takes it, puts it, and goes, "Oh, fucking Christ," and just pulls out these larger steel cups that are about what look to be a beer can size. So they're about 6 inches ish tall and about just as wide. And he fills both of them to the brim, and he hands you one and he hands Tovar one. And
Let's go.
he looks to Kovral and goes, usual size, or you want to go heavier?
Well, might as well join in the party. I'll go full sized.
Wonderful. And he pulls out another one, pours it, and he goes, should I pour a fourth one for you, elf?
Why not?
Oh,
I guess I'm gonna
fucking
join that.
fantastic. And he pours it and gives it to you. And he just,
Mark kind of like hitting Finrod in the shoulder, like, ha ha ha, there you go.
he corks the bottle with a hiss as he puts it back underneath the counter. And the coverall, this drink smells like home. It reminds him of everything he loves. And so he's excited. Finrod, it smells like dying tree stumps. Like, it is the most heavy alcohol. Dude, like, if you've ever smelled, like, Smirnoff 157,
Oh,
like,
Yeah,
it is...
yes,
it
yes,
is-
I have.
It is
Yeah,
that...
clear.
It's that if you put in a tree stump to ferment. So it's like if you went the Scotch route, but with
Oh my
75%
And they've added
alcohol.
ethanol and shit.
Yeah, like it's got extra shit in it.
can I interrupt the
yeah.
barkeep before he puts it behind the thing? He says, just leave the bottle.
No.
Leave the bottle.
No. He looks at you and goes, no.
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 Cobral's just sitting there shaking his head as well.
He's like, one, I'm giving you a size that is 12 times the amount you should be having in a sitting for a human. Two, that is expensive. So no.
Expensive.
And he puts the bottle back underneath the counter, like in a fucking cabinet that locks. But it's like, yeah, to Finrod, it smells like fucking Smirnov 157 that's been put, or Bacardi 157 that's been put in a tree stump and like mixed with some extra spices. It's a very weird cross between like mulled wine, Everclear, and Scotch. It is a very strange combination. To Nosh, it smells like rocket fuel. It just smells like straight alcohol, and you were both excited and intimidated by the situation in front of you. And then to Tovar, it smells pretty good. You're just excited to have it because you know it's gonna hit you square in the brainstem because you've had it before, so you know what it does.
I chugged the entire cup full.
Of course you do. We'll get to you in a fucking second.
Not before Tovar.
Not before Tovar.
We gotta at least toast, guys. We gotta at least toast.
We go to toast and like Tovar's fucking cup is already
Tovar
empty.
toast with an upside down cup. So, at that point, so Tovar slams it, Nosh slams it, Finrod and Kavral. What do you guys do with your drinks? As you see your two companions just down the whole, essentially 12-ounce serving of rot gut in an instant.
Well, Cobra will sit there, look at his drink, give it a nice smell, sigh dejectedly because he wants to savor it, but he doesn't want to frickin' feel left out and also down.
Alright. Finrod?
I tap the glass twice on the counter and slam it.
God damn, I thought someone
To
was
follow
gonna not
suit.
do it. Alright, so here's what happens. Tovar, you give me a constitution save at advantage. Kavral, you need to give me no constitution save, because this is like home to you. You feel definitely a little bit buzzier than normal, but this is relatively within your realm. Finrod, give me a con save normally, because being an elf, your metabolism is a little bit faster. Depending on how your first one goes, may determine what happens to your if you need a second one. And then Nosh, give me one at disadvantage, please.
Shit.
I got a 20.
Dirty 20. Yeah,
No.
you're or nat
Fucking
20.
9, bro.
Or, yeah, dirty. Yeah, dirty 20. Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, you're fine, Tovar, as expected. You and Kavral are feeling it, but you're both like, nice.
Yes.
Just give Tovar a high five. Yeah.
What'd you-
I got a 13.
Yeah, 13. Give me another one.
I got a 9.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
You need to give me another one at disadvantage.
Oh, that's a 3.
Oh, well, I guess you're going with that 13.
21, baby.
You got a 21, huh? Alright, you need to give me one more at disadvantage. Damn it.
Oh, shit. 11.
Mm-hmm. One more.
4?
Yes.
10.
This is gonna be a fight.
Alright, so you guys see Finrod and Nosh start to get affected by the rot gut relatively quickly. Finrod, you take it back, and at first you're like, man, that was pretty okay. And then you start the realization of, man, that tasted like shit. And then you start to feel the numbing in the back of your throat and starting to kind of go up the back of your neck. And you're like, oh man, it's hitting me really fast. And then you start to feel weak in your legs, and then you start to feel a rumbly in your tumbly.
The rumble in the tummy.
Nosh, somehow you're still standing, surprisingly. You're definitely acting like you are super drunk. Like you just downed a fucking full bottle of whiskey. Like you are just off your fucking rocker. And then Finrod, you can give me another Constitution save to try and keep yourself from barfing.
I'm gonna throw a lucky on this,
Do it.
so that way I can throw 2 dice.
Give yourself advantage. Try your damnedest.
Basically.
I thought about fucking putting that one, Rexus. The one
Oof,
that you put
that's
in there.
still shitty.
Yeah.
I'm barfing.
Thought about putting that one in there, and I was just like, but that would actually like fit what just happened with fucking Tovar.
Right?
So basically, you guys see Finrod go, I don't feel so good.
Before he does it, can I turn him towards Nosh?
No,
give
no,
me
no.
give me a sleight of hand.
Oh fuck. With advantage or
If
no?
I see him vomiting, can I also be like, oh, and try to turn him away?
Yeah,
With
if
advantage?
both of you try to do it, you can give Tovar advantage. Yes.
Okay.
Tovar gets advantage on it going on Nosh.
Yes.
Is there any
So-
way I can dodge it?
Nat 20, baby!
You're drunk, so
you can try, but it's gonna be like 2 rolls at significant disadvantage. Like it's not gonna be fun for you.
Oh, I want to try.
You want to try? All right. I need you to basically roll me. No, not even athletics. I need you to roll me a dex save at disadvantage.
Are you fucking kidding me? I got +0 on my dex, bro.
Yeah, you're also drunk as hell.
9.
No.
Nine.
You are trying your best to keep yourself going, as you hear Finrod making those noises that you don't like to hear. As you see Kovral and Tovar turn him towards you away from the bar, as you just get splattered by the emesis coming out of Finrod. Finrod, you as soon as you do it, you feel a little bit better. You don't feel drunk or a lot of the disadvantages to it. You're just kind of like, oh, that was terrible.
Kind of just pat.
I kind of wish I just took a regular L now.
Yeah.
Like, you feeling okay there, Finny? You feeling better now?
Yep, and I got a
Round
good laugh out of
two.
this too. Thanks for turning me.
Can I get another glass?
No, you need to go outside and fucking jump in a pond.
Yeah, the barkeep just looks you up and down as you're just like stumbling where you're standing and now covered in gross. He's like, no, just go, please. Just you've done enough.
What do you mean
I
I've
want-
done enough? I held my alcohol.
I want.
No,
to-
you have
hold
not
on.
held your alcohol. You are walking like the man in the red jacket. You've not held shit.
So, to kind of apologize for Finrod and Nosh and him having to clean this up, I kind of want to give the barkeep like 10 gold.
You can
Just-
do whatever you want. He'll appreciate it as much as he hates it.
Yeah.
So you
Like-
give him the 10, and as
Yeah,
you just like lead Nosh and Finrod out with the
No,
bill.
I wanna try bribing Tovar with 50 gold to get me another glass.
Oh,
Okay,
Jesus,
so
Larry.
I will hold on. So I'll take his 50 gold, and then we'll use now 20 of that to give him to apologize, and then fucking
So you're gonna
kinda,
pocket
like,
30 and
push
give
him-
20 to the barkeep.
yeah, and kind of
What?
just like manhandle Nosh out of the bar.
It's got to be some sort of check for that.
Yeah,
Come on.
it's gonna be an intelligence check at disadvantage.
Which one?
For you.
For you, an intel
Oh.
check at disadvantage because you're just like, no, give the fucking take the goal I want.
Oh, 3 and a 5. Bro.
No, you don't know what the fuck's going on. You were just
All right, so I get 30 gold, yeah, and
Yeah.
he loses 50.
yes.
All right.
Amazing.
You lose 50 and Tovar gains 30. Barkeep gains 20. As you just lead them both outside, as the people in the tavern are just like, what the fuck just happened? It is a very confusing yet amusing time for everyone.
Fucking stole my gold, bro.
You don't know.
You know nothing.
You don't know
As-
shit.
Yeah, as we go to leave, like, you know, like I kind of whistle for
Mhm.
BFG. Like after we got all of them out, I kind of whistle for BFG to, you know, come over and
Mm.
like apologize to everybody again for any inconveniences.
You whistle to BFG and you see him that he's being petted on by a bunch of people, and he looks at you with the side of his eye like, really? And you're just like, yes. And he's like, fine. And like he just thumpa back to the front door with you.
Is there like?
All I have to say, I'm fine with my bad rolls right now.
Can I look for like
When they're
a
not as
discarded
important.
bottle?
Oh, what?
You want to find a
Discarded
bottle?
bottle that like anything where I
Oh,
can like
God
take a
damn
sip
it,
out of
can't-
it.
No, you don't
Oh
know what
my-
the fuck is going on. You are out of bounds right now.
Okay,
You are just gone.
Hold on. I'm gonna end this right now for all of our sakes. I'm gonna bonk him on the head.
All
Again.
right. So all right. So you don't have to roll
I
anything
was
to
gonna
bonk.
say,
I was gonna say Nosh. Give me another con save. Just normal, not a disadvantage. Just give me a con save.
18.
Oh.
So
Okay,
you.
now I have to roll.
So. No, it's so you. This is him basically resisting the bonk, and so you bonked him, and he kind of seems like he's going out, but he turns around and he goes, "The fuck was that for?" And just, as you're still pushing him outside, you see he's like reaching for shit, and you're just like trying to deal with like a toddler, and you get him outside the door, and he's just like, "Ah, the fuck."
You sure you don't want the roll?
No, is you. I mean, that would be basically just to get him. Like, you're able to get him outside with that roll. Like, he's not able to stop you from getting him outside.
Basically, like football carry him out.
Yeah. Just don't
No, I don't
want
want
your
to
open
football
folder.
carry. I don't want to do that. He's got puke all over him. That's why I was trying to bonk him and then track him.
I mean, you're pushing him outside. He's not able to resist you much. He's trying to grab stuff, but you're like slapping his hands and like pushing him.
Stop that. Just stop that.
No, bad.
Stop that.
Go outside. Go outside.
And you finally get him outside where you can see there's a water trough for horses outside the tavern on both sides. There's 2 of them.
and you
that-
throw them in.
Use that 27 roll that I did to fucking throw him into the water drop.
And it's
'Cause
I mean,
know he's
give
not
me
gonna
an
beat
opposing
the 27.
athletics, Nosh. Just give me a
Huh?
give me an athletics at disadvantage to resist.
Athletic to disadvantage.
He's like, oh man.
11 and 13. Well,
I mean, he
yeah,
still could have rolled it really well. Like, who's the to really say he could have rolled double 20s, and it would have been game over. Just been like, well, paradox time. So
Somehow
He gives Tovar a hug.
So
Oh,
like you just go to throw him in, and you see he tries to resist. He like tries to grab onto you and just like slips as he falls backwards into the trough. And as you hit the water, Nosh, and you feel the schmutz come off you, you immediately sober up. As you're just like, the water hits you.
Oh. Well, that was fun. While it lasted. Someone
I
throw up
carried
on
his
me?
bagpipes out, by the way.
Oh, are you sure you want to touch those?
He set those down on the side.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait, that's right. You didn't fucking. Yeah. Nope.
I get out of the water
Technically,
and
none of us
immediately
know
reach for the
about it.
bagpipes.
Yeah, so you pick Nosh up out of the trough as he's just now wet, as both him and Finrod start to have an aching feeling in their heads almost immediately as they sober up from the rot gut.
I'm gonna reach for the bagpipes.
You can see that Finrod's carrying your bagpipes back to the carriage. You still have issues walking, but you can at least keep yourself in a straight line to make it back to the carriage without falling over.
Kind of just push him towards the companion carriage.
Mm-hmm.
Pick up BFG and put him into the fucking actual carriage.
So yeah, you guys.
Finrod, you could give him his pipes.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna hold on to these. My head's kind of throbbing. I don't know if I want to hear any loud sounds right now.
I kind of want my bagpipes. Yeah, I want my bagpipes.
With one hand and shit in the other right now. We're leaving.
So
Oh,
you get
fuck.
Nosh into the back trailer as Finrod still has his pipes as you guys make your way up to Northam. It's a couple hours journey, and it's as you get to the bridge, the carriage comes to a stop. As Coverall, you have taken over driving duties, as both Finn and Nosh are kind of out of commission, and Tovar is sitting inside with the BFG, as he's still getting acclimated to riding in the big carriage. And you see a bunch of individuals on the other side of the bridge, basically here, that seem to be just like stopping the way from you to pass. And they look to be in relatively good equipment, not anything super major. They look to be that of the degree of possibly bandits, maybe like highwaymen. Nothing that's above your caliber that you can tell. And they just kind of they hold their arms out for you to stop the carriage, and you bring it to a halt.
And well, as we were coming up, I would call back to Tobar and let him know that we've got trouble on the road.
Alright. Let me know when you want me to pop out.
Alright. And so we pull up and stop.
Yeah,
Wait,
and
hello there.
they go, you have to pay the toll to cross the bridge here.
Oh, is that so? I wasn't aware there was a maintenance fee for the bridge.
We gotta keep it standing up somehow. You can't just be sold a bridge anywhere nowadays.
Really? Well, which authority do you hail from?
We hail from the Bridge Maintenance Department of Northam.
Oh, is that so? Do you happen to have your documentation on you?
He waves to one of his compatriots, go, give him the documentation. And you see him pull out what looks to be a bundle of dynamite from inside of his cloak. That one.
It's Cape. He's Batman.
I was like, cape. I was like, no, wait, capes don't go all the way to the front. So like his cloak, you see the diamond come out of the cloak, and he's like, ha ha.
Cobra will just sit there, lean forward with one elbow on his knee, and go, "Oh, really? Well, guess what? Here's our documentation. Hey, Tova!"
You want me to do a fucking intimidation fucking roll to jump out of this shit with BFG?
I mean, you can just step out. Like, you stepping out is already a fucking act of God at that point, trying to get out of the fucking carriage with your big ass self. And so you step out with BFG, BFG stepping out one side, you step out the other, and all the eyes get really wide of all the highwaymen as they start to realize who they're talking to. As they recognize the man in the driver's seat, and then they recognize the Goliath, and they recognize the Gator.
Just give a grin and a little wave.
And you see two of the highwaymen that are just like on one side, kind of like look to their boss a little bit, look to each other, and then just start to back away slowly, turn around and run.
Bye.
Well, now, as you can see, we have very, very important documentation. So, we could just let bygones be bygones and pass by, and no one has to get hurt. Or we could have a little bit of fun. It's up to you.
The lead guy looks to his right to see if the two guys are there with the dynamite, and there's no one next to him anymore, and he goes, huh. Yeah, I think we're paid up on maintenance for the month. Let's just let them go. Let's just you can go on by. And he's just like, sorry to cause you trouble, as he's like pushing his compatriots aside who are just like arguing with him, but like, no, but we need to like get money. He's like, no, we can wait. Like we can just go over here away from the bridge, guys. That'd be cool. We're gonna go over here.
I'd rather live.
So, I want to have Tovar kind of like walk over towards them with BFG, and kind of just be like, if we hear about anyone having to pay maintenance fees at this bridge, we'll know who to find, and we won't let you by with just showing our documentation.
And he goes, yeah, of course, we won't be here anymore. We'll go back to the office real quick. As he's trying to like push his compatriots to realize that there's now no one next to him again. As he turns and sees that they're running up the road back towards Northam, and he goes, and he turns and starts fucking sprinting.
Overall just waves goodbye. Pleasure!
Tovar kind of like just chuckles and fucking pets BFG, saying good boy, and then fucking picks him back up and loads him back in the carriage.
And you guys keep on going. Realize that your reputation does precede you by a significant degree. And so you wind up riding by those guys. As you can see, they are like sweating and panting as like they're staying on the side of the road, just being like, huh, and they see you, and you see them all run into the woods like, fuck.
Oh, shit.
Oh no.
And so they just diss a fucking pier as you guys arrive in Northam. And as you approach Northam, you can see that it is a massive city.
Really?
Oh jeez.
God damn it.
Damn cheesegate.
Yes, sir.
Some of these names are randomly generated, and I keep them because they're great.
Fair.
Fucking milk house.
I just saw that too.
It's just like Dock District, Southtown, Green Valley, Castle District, Milk House, Cheesegate.
Cheesecake. Yeah, like,
Where am I?
Famous for their local dairy and cheese production.
It's where the fuck are we? Wisconsin?
apparently so in fucking Northam. I hope you know now you have to do a fucking Midwestern voice this entire time.
No.
For any NPC here.
Oh, I tell you now. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you fucking
Oh, I
loser.
tell you now. Oh, I'm scooting right
Oh,
past
boy.
you. Hold on, let me scoot it. Oh. And so you see that this town is massive. It's a kilometer across at its widest point, and it is just a super high dense town with a large castle on its northeastern side. The walls are tall, with evenly spread out battlements. A few roads leading in, with only a few roads interwinding in between. You can tell that it has a large system in place for dealing with the docks, as it is on the coast and is one of the main receiving ports off the delta, on this side specifically. And so, as you enter, you can clearly see that there is just a large number of people along the roads. And you travel and you come across a temple, you come across a couple of plazas, you come across lots of residential buildings and businesses, both kind of built in between bakeries, cheese shops, jewelry stores, general stores, camping stores, you name it, you can find it, usually along Main Street. And you eventually get to the city center, where you come across a bazaar that is full of people selling goods around the main temple building that has basically become a community center for the people that are a part of it. And as you kind of wheel up, you see there's just a very large combination of races, people of both different wealth brackets and everything else, just kind of mingling. And you hear a lot of opes and don't you knows, and a lot of talk about this thing called fruit salad, and this other stuff called, like, a lot of things with the suffix salad attached to it, which doesn't give you a bright light to deal with the cuisine in this town. And you see wheels of cheese being sold, cows being sold off, trinkets, items, silversmithing, jewelry, weapons, armor, clerical items, druidic items, anything that you can imagine is being peddled in this bazaar. And as you step off and you just kind of enter, you just kind of absorb the whole scene. You hear an argument, and you see that there are two tabaxi behind a what looks to be fold-up table that they have that has a bunch of what looks to be briefcases on it, with a carriage behind them that is purple in color with gold and silver, what look like medallions and such, kind of hanging off of different parts of it. On top of it has a number of suitcases and bags. It seems to be pulled by what looks to be a large salamander. And it looks very well constructed, but they seem to be having a argument with some patrons that they have in front of them. You can't really hear what exactly it is, but you can definitely tell that from body language is that they're trying to right a wrong that came up during a selling point, and that the people that are angry at them. And so, what do you do?
Oh, it's looking like we may have a good suspect right there.
Should probably go check it out.
Hey,
Yeah, I'll toss Nosh's bagpipes back.
I get my bagpipes back finally? Damn.
Oh, you just noticed that, Meat?
Nah.
What happened?
I just zoomed out, was like, what the fuck is this?
What? I saw like this yellow on the side of the map. I'm like, what is that? So I zoomed out and saw that.
Yeah, I saw the yellow and
No.
decided not to fucking look at it.
yeah, I
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Oh no, I know what could have happened, Nosh. It's- Man, fucking weird.
I wonder.
I have wonder.
Wunda.
But yeah, so you guys clearly see the argument taking place, and that everyone else in the bazaar seems to be just kind of either speaking about selling stuff, talking about specials, what they have, what they don't have, what they're looking for. It looks very much like the RuneScape marketplace in the old days, or even like a World of Warcraft bazaar. It is just chaos, and if you could imagine, it's just text clouds over people's heads as they're just yelling shit at each other.
Can you see what items are fighting over?
It seems to be The tabaxi is holding what looks to be a wooden staff that has carved into a dragon head on one end. And that the patrons are arguing with them. You can't tell over what, but it's probably about that item specifically.
Okay. Can I like ask him what the issue is?
Yeah, I mean, you can approach, and as you approach, you can start to hear more of the argument. And you hear it's a lot of, you said that this would be able to, dispel curses, or it's something along the line that what the patrons are claiming is significantly higher level, even with your basic knowledge of the arcane. What the patrons were promised is not something that you would find in like a fucking marketplace. Like it's not something that you'd be like, oh, I'm gonna go to the general store and pick this up. It's like, no, you'd have to go to a specialist and they'd have to physically make it for you. Whether like an
Can't find it at
apothecary,
the
alchemist,
local
enchanter,
Can't find it at the local Walmart.
Yeah. It's like going and being like, oh, I need to go get amoxicillin. I'm gonna go buy it from a dude on the fucking corner. It's like, no, you need to go to the goddamn pharmacy for that kind of shit, And so that's the gist you're definitely getting from this, is that they were promised something that was significantly higher caliber, and just from you looking at this item, you're like, there's no way in fucking hell that this could have done that specifically.
I'm gonna step up and ask, what seems to be the problem here?
One of the patrons turns to you, and you can see that they are affected by what looks to be some type of warts, as like their skin's looking just kind of disfigured. And they look and go, these charlatans sold me a staff that was meant to help cure this disease that was roaming through my livestock. Except when I used it, it gave me fucking warts. I'm not sure if the spell backfired, but it's the complete opposite of what I was asking for. And you see the tabaxi kind of speak up and go, oh, hold on, like, it's... You asked for a cure of the disease. Do your livestock still have the sickness? And the patron turns to him and goes, yes! Nothing has changed! I just look like shit!
I look over at the merchant. Are you the one that sold it to him?
Yeah, this is my item that I sold to them. I sold to them in good faith of that it would help solve their problem.
So you're the bounty we're looking for then.
Bounty? What bounty?
So like as Nosh is fucking saying this, like I want me to like walk up behind them, kind of out of sight.
Out of sight, you're fucking easy dog. Out of sight.
Yeah, but he's
trying his
focusing
best,
on
yeah.
you and the fucking other one. Like I'm talking about like out of linear sight, like.
Yeah. Yeah, so you and Kavral
View.
kind of come up at like a pincer formation from behind them. And so like, you're standing a few feet behind them, but you're basically blocking their exits. And Finrod, you're next to Nosh as he's saying this out loud.
Yep, and I'm just looking at the piece of paper of the bounty
Mhm.
to see.
I mean,
like,
the
if
bounty
they match up
basically,
to it.
it says that it's a pair of merchants in a extravagant chariot, or carriage in this instance, selling faulty magical items for exorbitant prices.
And I'm just like in my head going, this is matching up.
Do you have anyone else that you sell items like this with?
We sell people whatever we have. I mean, that's the whole point of being in this bazaar. It just so happens that one of the wheels broke on the carriage and we haven't been able to leave, so we're dealing with trying to make sure that our promises are still good. If you want to see... So, for this instance, if you want to try and see if he's lying or if he's telling the truth, you can roll me insight. Or if you're trying to pull information out of him, it would be persuasion or something similar.
Investigation or
Investigation would let you look at material things. Insights to kind of see if he's bullshitting you or not.
I'm gonna
Also,
roll
Yeah, I
an
can-
insight since
Nosh,
I'm right next to
there's-
Nosh.
Out of character, there's 2 of them.
Oh, I didn't know that you said there was 2 of them. I thought you said just
Yeah.
the one. Like I knew the bounty said 2. I just didn't know if the 2 were there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
no,
it's
there's-
two
there's
tabaxi.
two- Yeah, 2 of them, and then the one, like, patron.
Oh, gotcha. Wow. It was definitely
Wow.
on a 19.
Wow. You think that he's telling you the truth, that you can't tell if he's being deceitful or not. To you, it sounds like he's being clearly honest.
Overall, and I able to kind of like
You two would be able to
roll, like-
investigate because you can't see their faces, but you can look at what's going on with like the carriage and everything else to see if something fucky is going on. And
would
then,
it be
yeah.
investigation or perception?
Did I fall
Because-
for it too on the insight?
Yeah, Finrod, you fell for a little, but you definitely feel like something is up. You're like, nothing's really adding up. You're like, you seem like you match the description. You seem like you're selling faulty shit. You're not fully convinced either direction. But yeah, you two, it would be, you guys could either give me perception or investigation based on how you want to look at what you're, well, looking at.
Okay. I was thinking you, because I have a +3 on both of them, so like it doesn't
I
matter.
have a
to me.
+4 on perception and a -1 on investigation.
Okay, so I'll do investigation, and then so like what I was thinking, the reason I said perception is to kind of see if we notice like body movement, kind of thing.
Yeah,
like
okay.
That's what I was gonna say as well with perception. Like I'd kind of just hang back and kind of keep a general eye out and like try to see if anything is going on.
Yeah,
that
you can
seems
definitely do that.
Okay, I got 16
All right.
for investigation.
No, I got 9.
Yeah, got a 9. So with your perception, you don't really see any kind of odd movement. You can see that they're kind of moving around a little bit, but it's not telling you much. You can see that a lot of the stuff they're selling looks kind of out of place. Like, it doesn't look like the quality of what you would expect from someone peddling magical items. Because you've seen a few. You're carrying one. You know when something is enchanted. And this stuff, you're like, you're on the fence about it, but you're definitely leaning towards more of a, I think they're shitting with me. With you, Tovar, as you investigate and you look through stuff, you kind of put your eyes on some of the trinkets that are set to the side, and your bullshit detector goes off.
Okay. So with newfound knowledge, I would kind of like, because they're still focusing on Nosh and Finrod, right?
Yes.
Okay. And Kovral and I can see each other clearly. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I would kind of like hand signal to him to kind of like basically like point at them and be like, "You take that one, I take this one," kind of thing.
Yeah.
To like fucking basically like sneak attack grab them.
Cobra
I would-
will nod and get ready for a grapple attack then.
And while they do their stuff, I'm just gonna keep chit chatting with the. Obviously, I can't really do much about the insight because I'm pretty much falling for it. So I'm like
Yeah.
asking him about his wares, and like if what he thinks would be good for me, pretty much.
So,
Yeah.
Nosh, what you can do as you see Tovar and Kovral kind of behind them prepping, you kind of see the hand motions and you kind of get a feeling of what Tovar's planning on doing. You can roll me performance and try to see if you can keep their attention to give him advantage, both him and Kovral.
Come on, come through.
Performance +3. Come on.
Come
Come on,
through.
Mr. Well-Leveling
Oh,
Bard.
here we go.
So
He's on a
you
five, bro, I
you start
promise.
playing into it, and Finrod, you see Nosh start to really play into the curious patron as you're looking at the paperwork, and you kind of interject here or there, just to kind of like put doubt behind what what Nosh is doing, but you can see that he's hamming it up. He's very getting into it and being like, oh, but I have this. Do you have something to do with dragon scale illness? And the guy seems excited to be like, yeah, I have this, and looking through it. And you just slowly see Tovar and Kovral edging ever closer. And so at that point, I need both you to roll me advantage on athletics.
Cool.
16 plus 5.
24, Tovar.
Yeah, 24 and a 21, yeah. You guys just get up behind him, and you just immediately grapple him in whatever way would work best for you, and just kind of hold them still. As they're
Basically, like one-handing, with my
By
one
the
good
neck.
hand,
From
and
the
just
back.
like kind of fucking like, no, by like the collar, just like
just
Collar.
just yank them up, like, obviously fucking it's a little bit harder for Cobra to do that. But
Well, I mean, if the guy was sitting with Coverall's height, he'd just be able to, like, put him into a freaking armbar. So, like,
Chokehold.
yeah.
So with Tovar, you just pick up the guy by the back of the collar, because the Baxies aren't that tall. They're only on average from like 4.5 to like 5.5. They can be much taller, but it's not seen as often. And so these guys are relatively average. They're about 5 flat, and so you just pick them up by the fucking collar. You lift up one of them. Coverall, behind yours, you just kind of like take out his leg and just like full Nelson him. And you're just like, don't move.
go to sleep.
Not even enough pressure to really knock him out, but just to keep his arms away from you, is you're just like, hi.
Oh, this is your catchphrase. Hi, nice to meet you.
Freaking pull him down, just, hello there, nice to meet you.
And you can see them both begin to panic and squirm a little bit as, Nosh, you feel a smile across your face as your plan kind of worked better than expected as you kept
My
their
plan.
attention. Yeah, your plan. In your head, you're like, ah, yes, this was my plan. I distracted them.
I love when a plan comes together.
Yeah.
Like Hannibal from the team.
You're like, I love when a plan comes together, and it's like you didn't have any part of the plan. You just being a distraction. You were just playing the face. You're not even Hannibal.
I'll
You're
call
like,
out to Finrod.
I
Hey,
tap
can you
him
get some rope out and tie them up so we can,
Do
not
we
have to
work?
break them down?
As I pull the rope out, I'll tap Nosh on the shoulder. Good job at distraction.
Oh, I appreciate it.
and so as you guys do
Omar kinda
this,
just, like,
you
shakes
see.
his head.
You see the patron is kind of like flabbergasted. He's like, what's happening? And he looks to Finrod as the Finrod's the one that's kind of like free and like getting the rope off of his bag.
Show him the
And-
bounty page.
I was just gonna say I'll pull the bounty page and hand it to him, saying these guys are wanted for selling false magical items.
And you see the patron looks over the page and sees like it's been signed by basically magistrates and goes, well, that's the case, and that explains this, and he motions at his face and like his arms. And he's like, do you guys know who I could talk to fix this?
Wait,
Would we be able to have him get
yes,
fixed
actually, I
at
would
McCrag?
be able to.
Or would-
No. Fuck it. Cobral's a paladin. Have you finished tying up the one that I was?
Yeah, I went to the one that you were at first.
Cobral will have gotten up and examining his face, be like, I think I can help you with this, and I'll lay my hand on him and cast Lesser Restoration.
Yeah, and so you do it, and you see the warts disappear from his body. As you can tell, they were put on by what looked to be some kind of minor curse as you lift it. And as you lift it, the staff that was put down on the table when you lifted him up by the scruff of his neck, Tovar, seems to splinter in the center, and it's go...
What the fuck?
Well, that's all the evidence we need.
So they're selling cursed items, not magical.
Well, they're selling shitty magical items,
Shitty
which if you're
magical
not,
items that are
if
cursing.
there's no quality control, you're not sure if you're making things worse or better. Magic is a fine art between bullshitting and science.
Look at the Tovar. Do you want me to tie him up, or are you enjoying holding him like that?
Ah, you can tie him up.
You can
Sitting
tie
there
him
holding
up.
him like he's a kitten, petting him. Ah, you can hold him.
And so yeah,
Just
you
like fucking let him drop from fucking being held up all the way. Just like fucking, you can tie him up, and just like fucking let's go.
Yeah.
drops him like 2.5 feet, if not higher, from where he is. He just hits the ground and crumples. And as you tie him up, they're like, "What do you mean? There's a bounty? We weren't selling faulty items." As you all just kind of motion to the staff that just exploded,
Like,
and you see a defeated look come across both of their faces, as they're like, "Fine. What do you want from us?"
Well, what we want from you is to take you in for the bounty. So just
yeah.
be good little kitties and stay quiet.
Little kitties.
It's time to pay for your actions.
They're just kind of like,
And I'll take some cloth out and start gagging them.
Are we able to investigate their persons and their carriage to make sure that, like, we can find, like, the money that they fucking took from people to be able to, like,
yeah,
To
it's
reimburse them, yeah.
law and...
yeah, it's you tie them up and you open the carriage and you see that it just has a bunch of these briefcases of looks to be just shoddily built magical items as you're looking through. It's again, as all of you are carrying some magical item or another, you kind of know the quality you're looking for, and none of these fit that quality. And you can tell that there is a coin purse slash like a little box in the corner that seems to have a lot of currency in it, of varying types, mostly gold pieces, maybe with a couple of platinums inside of it, that you can kind of see in the light. And so you can tell that it's full of shit that probably doesn't work or makes things worse, and that you can clearly find the currency that they stole from people from selling half-baked items.
Alright.
So I would say to try and basically find, like, I don't know. I guess we could ask the fucking patron, like,
Well, I was gonna say,
Uh,
could we check to see if we could find a logbook of transactions?
Roll me investigate. Whoever wants to look for the logbook.
Well, I suggested it. I guess I'll do it, even though I have shitty investigation.
I mean, you and Tovar are inside the carriage, so you guys can both roll it.
I got an 18.
Oh, okay, fair. Yeah, I got a 10.
Yeah. So between the two of you, you guys are able to find a very shoddily put together book of transactions. It's not broken down by person. It seemed to be broken down by town and by date, and how much was pulled from each. And it seems like they spent a while in Saints Welcome before they made their way up this way. And they seemed to pass through the town you were just in. They didn't stop before they came up here. And it seemed that they've been up here for about 3 or 4 days based off the ledger. But it seemed they've been doing a circuit through multiple towns for a couple of weeks now.
Okay. Well, I would kind of suggest, like, asking the guy that you ended up fucking laying your hands on, to kind of, like, go find the, I guess, like, sheriff of the town or some sort of lawman.
I mean,
to
there's
come
guards
over
in the
here to-
bazaar. They probably noticed the commotion and they've started making their way over. You'd also know that if you're turning in a bounty in a city like this, that the castle district would be your best bet unless you came across a guardhouse. Like
Oh, okay.
that's usually the run of the mill place where like the head of, I guess, guard, law enforcement, ethics, blah, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is
Yeah.
usually situated is at the castle district. Unless there's like a specific precinct or headquarters they have set up in the town separately.
Okay.
But yeah, so there are guards that have started to come in and kind of ask you questions. You guys explain what's going on. Some of them recognize you and are like, "Oh, you guys are just doing your job." You show them the bounty paperwork and everything situated, and they're like, "Oh, so we didn't even realize that these guys had open warrants. Well, nice of you to show up when you did and get them all nice and tidy to be retrieved."
Indeed. Glad we popped by when we did. I'll, because we have to go to the castle director. Sorry, whoa, English. Castle. Oh,
Castle
Castle
district.
district.
thank you. The castle district.
The Midwestern
Is that drink
is
hitting
fucking,
you?
Phlegm
the-
farmer.
No, apparently I just haven't had enough water.
Midwestern is starting to fucking catch on. He's Coverall's picking up accents from the locals.
Oh no. Yeah, you said we had to go to the castle district, right?
Yeah, the guards will basically help you kind of get them out and about, and then they'll call in a few of their horses to pull their carriage up to the castle district. And they basically tell you that they'll have a sit down with them and figure out who they sold what, and either start getting money back to people or start calling ambassadors or trade masters for each of the cities, and start getting it centered around to kind of quarantine those not good items that have been passed down to the public recently.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Great.
And so that's basically what you got. You put them away, and when you basically follow them up to the castle district, when they kind of load everything in, you guys helping them out, showing them the ledger, showing them what days they were in places, how much money they took, who was it from for the most part, generalized, unless there's like special orders. They're like, all right, like you guys had a relatively easy assignment. Like this was pretty straightforward. It was thankfully you caught them here in the middle of the day. Otherwise, they probably would have had an easier chance of getting away from you. So your timing was impeccable. Here's your reward for them, as the bounty said, and they hand you a little satchel of 90 gold pieces.
Each or
Just in total. Which, I mean, that's a hefty price for essentially some counterfeiters.
For
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So
That's
what?
not bad.
10 to the deep and 20 to everyone.
I mean, we could
Yeah.
always just send it to the keep.
Well, I wouldn't mind keeping a small amount. My character hasn't been able to save any money to buy anything.
I lost 50 gold, so I kind of need something.
You don't know that you lost shit.
You spent 50 gold on booze.
Yeah.
As far as you know.
Right.
I mean, so your character would still know he needs money. He just wouldn't. Yeah.
You wouldn't know
regardless,
why.
I know I need money.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can split it as you see fit.
I mean, if you guys wanted to divvy it up between yourselves, that's fine. You could
Well,
do a three-way split on it.
Yeah, a three-way split. We could do 20 gold to the three of us, and then send the rest to the castle. If you didn't want any.
No, that's fine. I was gonna send mine to the.
Basically, you're gonna take your cut to the castle. That's what you're
Yeah.
gonna do. Keep. I'm
Alright.
good with that.
Okay, so I'll add 20 gold to my inventory.
I just
Only
could use a
take
little
10.
because I'm only at 9.
Yeah, I'll take 10 and then send the rest back.
All right, and yeah, you guys split up the bounty, and you guys get yourselves back in the carriage, loading everything up. You know, it did a small thing, but you know, it was something that was simple, easy to put together. You know, thankfully, it didn't turn into anything super major. And you guys load up and start making your way back down to Blair Shore to tackle that issue that they've been dealing with.
All right.
So you guys,
To the catacombs.
you hop back in your carriage, and you guys travel down through, and it takes you about 6 hours or so, and so you get there as night has started to fall on Blair Shore, and you get there and you basically ask for directions to get yourself to the cemetery. That you have the bounty paperwork, and you're here to kind of clear things out. Uh, and you were shown to the cemetery, and you're shown to the groundskeepers that found what they were looking for, as they seem kind of exhausted, strangely. As they just seem tired and beaten down, as they've been just dealing with something. And as you come up to them, they go, "Oh, thank the gods that someone bit more qualified than us is here."
Hey,
What have you guys been dealing with?
hey, you look like
Oh
shit.
boy.
We don't
So you guys
even
want one?
we don't even know what we're dealing with. We were getting some new plots dug up, as unfortunately after the Mardi Gras incident, uh, a bunch of cheese fell onto the street. There was chaos ensued as people were injured. We had some people die because they fell down the cheese into the canal in the center of town and drowned. So it was unfortunate. It has become known as Bloody Tuesday. It was terrible for
The
everyone
Great
involved.
Mardi Gras Massacre.
Mm-hmm. The Great Mardi Gras Massacre. And they're like, we were digging up plots to kind of deal with that situation, and we were digging this one area, and the ground came out from underneath of us. Thankfully, we were able to step back quick enough. The one of the older groundskeepers who's been here for a while wasn't able to. He fell down into the pit. Um, we tried to pull him out. When we got close to getting him, it looked like he got pulled down by something. So we're not sure if he just fell further because we didn't hear nothing from him afterwards. Um, but as we were taking care of stuff, we just started hearing more and more noises come out of it, and eventually we started seeing these things come out of the ground, out of the hole that opened, and we started having to fight them back because there's just no one here that could help. The guards didn't want to come this way because they're all superstitious. They thought we were just full of shit, and thankfully you guys answered the bounty. It's been a few hours doing it. You know, it's been about a half a day, maybe more, but sitting in this groundkeeper's shed, it's all right. Just they seem to just get angrier at night.
Sounds like a great problem to have.
Yeah, it's a real great problem to deal with when you're just trying to dig holes to get people in them, and all of a sudden shit starts coming out of the hole and trying to kill you in turn. It's about as fun as one would think.
Yeah, it's kind of the opposite of the job description.
Yeah, a little bit. And you can see that you are now standing in a shed of sorts, a small building that's on the outside of the cemetery. And they point towards the hole that they can see from the window, and you can clearly see that there's nothing coming out of it quite yet. And they just seem shaken. They're just not really been having a good time dealing with the situation at hand. And so They explain to you what's been going on, how they've been pushing back whatever these creatures are that have been coming out of the catacombs that they discovered, and you listen to them for a bit, trying to get as much information as you can. It's hard to kind of piece together what exactly they're putting forward. Kovral, you would know that it's a little bit. It sounds like a couple of different things, but you're not entirely sure what it is. It sounds like it's something undead, but it's hard to pin down what exactly without seeing it. And as you're sitting there listening to them, you hear what sounds like a screech come from the area where they've been trying to seal the hole back up. You see both of the groundskeepers go white in the face.
A siren.
I ready my weapons.
I pull all the bagpipes.
I just crack my knuckles. Getting ready.
And they're like, oh no. They've been getting stronger every day. And it looks like it's time for them to come out again. And one of them stands up and goes to the door and goes, I'll show you where they're coming. Hopefully we can get there before they start getting momentum.
I will, yeah, I'm going to cast Shield of Faith before we head out on, what's everybody's AC?
Mine's
16.
14.
14, 15, and
I think
15.
Tovar's, it's Nosh's 16, I think Tovar's 15. Yeah.
He's 15.
I'll give the Shield of Faith to Finrod then. So for up 10 minutes, well, it's a concentration spell. Up to 10 minutes, you will have +2 to your AC.
So now I'm at 16 for 10 minutes.
So Kovral pulls out a small parchment with holy text written on it and basically offers it up. And
I'm gonna say thank you.
I want to give Bardic Inspiration before we go. Anyway,
Do a quick
one of my
twill on the bagpipes. This little... You all feel inspired.
Yeah. You
By
add
his-
1d6
by his-
to any of your stuff.
Sick riff that he played on the bagpipes.
keep a D6 out. Oh, there we go.
And so you guys are basically getting yourselves prepared as the groundskeeper's going up to the door and goes, all I can hope is that we're able to get ahead of them coming out, because once they start moving, it's hard to push them back. And as he says, and he's reaching for the doorknob, he goes to crack it. You guys see this large gray hand come smashing through the glass pane that's the window, grab him, and pull him out of the building as he's screaming. As you just see the face of this creature that essentially looks to be... It's hard to describe because you've never seen anything like it before. You can just smell the smell of decay coming off of it as its face seems molted and deformed, its skin gray and decomposing, its hands, the fingers almost turning into longer claws than they normally should, its teeth being sharp and kind of mislengthened, as you can clearly see that its ears are pointed, but its tongue has grown longer and kind of hangs out of its mouth as it's kind of just slocking to the side. And
Reminds me of a
Kovral,
Resident Evil character.
to identify, you can give me a religion check.
A religion check? Ooh.
Yes.
Okay. and I'm going to use my bardic inspiration on this. Okay, so I got a total of 15.
All right. So you can see that this foul medium-sized
14.
14. Okay. You can see this foul medium-sized creature appears more or less humanoid. Has molted, decaying flesh drawn tight across clearly visible bones. It is mostly hairless and has carnivore sharp teeth and jagged claws. Its eyes burn like hot coals in their sunken sockets. You can tell that it attacks with probably a bite or a claw, that its claw attacks are known to cause paralysis in its targets, and that being next to the creature's stench may cause poison or has caused disease among those that have survived its ambushes, and that it has resistance to necrotic damage and may be difficult for a cleric to turn away. And that you realize that you are facing down a ghast, and that if there's a ghast, there are ghouls to follow.
Corval just kind of, shit. We've got a ghast on our hands. And, well, ghouls as well. Careful you don't let it claw you. It'll cause paralysis. And its breath is pretty nasty. So I'd want to stay away from that as well.
Oh, wonderful. And all I do is punch.
Looks fucking stupid. Smells like shit.
You fucking can't.
It's pretty disgusting.
And so as you guys step up, as you see this creature outside the door, as it pulled this person through, throwing them to the horde of ghouls that you can see behind it, you see it scream at you once more as it starts to try and pull at the door. And as the door breaks open, its splinters flying all around it, staring you down. That's where we end our session.
You
What?
motherfucker. No! Oh!
That's nuts.
We can go another hour.
I can't go another hour. That's why.
God
I
damn
know.
it.
It's
That's fair.
it's you guys did a lot of building and a lot of kind of setup, and I wanted to take our time with these sessions since we're kind of be going off the beaten path a little bit. So I didn't want us to be like, oh, we're gonna go full throttle. We're gonna go for 5 hours again. We're gonna go punch some fucking ghouls in the face. We're gonna go fucking because I need to sleep at some point because I need to make sure I can run this shit correctly.
Question though.
Yes, I may have answer.
Two members are not with us.
If
Will
they're
probably
here next
be
week,
with us, yeah.
they'll be there with you. Hopefully they listen to the VOD. Remind them when you get a chance just to sit down and listen to it. I'll catch them up basically next week or before then, depending on when I see them.
Okay.
And basically get them up to speed and basically be like, yeah, you guys are fighting undead, have fun. So they will basically be with you when combat starts.
So kind of have it to where like we went off and did this, and then they, once they felt better, we're gonna meet.
They're
us
gonna
at
meet you
Blair
guys at Blair Shore, yeah, basically.
Okay, gotcha.
And so since you guys were ahead of schedule, like you would have waited for them and they would have shown up and blah blah blah, etc.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's where we leave you guys. And so before we go, what I'm trying to do is give us like a nice 15-minute thing after the session ends to talk about like cool things that happened, favorite moments, what did you like, what do you want more of, you know, cool things to kind of share with either the viewers, yourself, other players, etc.
Fair enough.
Nice little recap at the end
Yeah, a nice
for fun
little
times.
wrap up, because it also will help people who are watching this in the future to kind of know what's going on in the background.
True.
So like we'll start with
honestly.
Finron. You're top of my list.
It's probably because I just started talking at the
Well,
moment.
you're also at the top of my
Yeah.
list in Discord, so that's how I
Yeah.
kill off a shit.
I really actually was shocked at the title of Outlander. I really did enjoy that title a lot.
Yeah, the titles were bad.
I felt like it was like perfect for like how I would see my character too, since he was always like off and like as an acolyte in another religion for the moment, and then decided to split off as a monk and go down this separate path and come out and meet up with everyone here. So definitely enjoying it. The merchants getting lifted too, and maybe picking on Nosh.
Jeez.
Yeah,
I'll leave it at
Nosh
that.
was pretty funny.
You know, it was...
Yeah, so, Rexus, what you got?
Well, I enjoyed the session. It was nice having kind of both Cobra be able to get a little bit of a taste of home and have some amusement at the same time. And the the interactions were pretty good too. I liked how we were able to deal with the fucking yes, Conan, go outside. I liked how we were able to deal with the bandits without like having to fight them because our reputation preceded us, sort of thing. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, because that's one thing I was telling Salty about yesterday is that you guys at this point have gained a significant reputation that's going to play into getting contracts, dealing with the world, side quests, stuff like that. Whereas you do positive things, your reputation will grow positively. If you do nasty, negative shit, it will go in the opposite direction. And like each of you will also gain kind of titles and accolades based on your own actions and what you do, because stories turn into rumors, rumors turn into tall tales turn into reputation.
And like I said, when it was better, the titles were badass. Yeah.
I thought you'd enjoy the little callback.
It was nice, and yeah, the entire little like I almost forgot about that just because it was at the very beginning, but the whole little interaction with the people that we saved, yeah, I liked a lot about. Well, I mean, I usually like a lot about the session, regardless, but I liked a lot about the session.
Good.
Oh yeah, and also the cursing thing is awesome. I
Yeah,
forgot that.
the curse thing was pretty good. I'm kind of happy I brought that in.
Curse. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was about to say the curse.
Is
Oh,
she
just
is she
start.
in your Sunday session?
No, that's my wife. So
Oh, is it?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
Lumos is my wife. So she's the one that I talk to about the sessions, and she listens in when she's at the hospital working because it helps pass the time. So she's been in a few of my sessions before, but she's not in any of my games. She likes to be a spectator and then cause chaos, as she is.
Fantastic. Fucking grade A. Fucking yeah.
Mr. Nosh, what you got?
Backpacking off what like everyone else said, I think the funniest thing to open up with was the curse, because like we were just coming in, just waking up, licking our wounds, whatever. Next thing you know, curse happens and we start flirting with each other uncontrollably. I take my shirt off, I get cheese on my titties, and my tummy. Omar and I are the only two on our feet. Like, funny as hell. Like, I love the humor. I love how like your emotions kind of go everywhere when you're like in a session. Like it starts off like, oh yeah, we're gonna have some shits and giggles, and the next thing you know, trauma dump, and just deep in the fucking roller coaster, and then flies back out. It's everywhere, and then I don't know. I like the how the reputation is starting to like take effect into how like the world plays with us and how we play with the world type thing. And I like sleeping in the cart with the animals.
You're not sleeping in the cart with the animals. You're sitting in what is normally the animal cart.
That's what I
And the
mean.
animals aren't in it, and they're in your spot.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I'm gonna try to play less of the bagpipe on YouTube because it probably sounds like shit coming through the mic.
A little bit.
Yes, it
Just a smidge.
definitely fucking did. Jesus Christ.
I'll get like a fucking
Yeah, so-
sound redeem or something for when you do bardic inspiration that you can use.
Right.
Or I'll get like a soundboard clip, and I can play it off of my soundboard.
Yeah, I want to do it on my. I want to get a soundboard and stuff, but I'm not home right now, which kind of sucks. So I don't have any of my stuff in my setup.
Oh,
Or we
no.
could add like the soundboard into Discord.
Yeah,
Because
you
the
can add
Discord
sounds
did have
and
a
stuff there.
soundboard now.
Yeah. It'll be
Yeah,
something
yeah.
we'll cross that bridge when we get there. 'Cause that's a whole another bag of beans. Like I got a bunch for like voice mod I could use, which that's one thing that I'm trying to do is I'm gonna try and get my voice mod stuff working because I think it's still working, but I want to use it to set up ambiance. There's a few things I want to use on it for it. But yeah, anything else, Mr. Nush?
I thought it was a pretty good session. Always is though.
Awesome. Mr. Salty, Mr. Tovar.
So, like I'm gonna agree with everybody else. Like this was a pretty fun session. It sucked to be down, two of the party members, but it was still a really good session. I thought. Again with the reputation stuff, like that's always cool to see. And then kind of being able to use tactics on the fucking bullshit counterfeiters up in Northam. That was cool. I liked doing that. So one thing, this isn't like towards Burn or the session. This is towards the fucking party members. So Burn set it up perfectly to get an RP actually going, besides us fucking around at that first tavern. And you guys 100% missed the fucking, missed the drop that he was doing. What has Tovar always been referred to as? Just Tovar. He's never introduced anything else.
Yeah, he's got last name.
I questioned it, but I don't think anyone heard me say last name.
Oh yeah, I didn't hear you say that.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah, it was-
the
I didn't hear-
thing.
It was a
I saw
lead.
the thing in. I saw the thing in the D&D Beyond. I think I mentioned it before you even joined the Discord. I think it was when I was talking to Finrod and.
I didn't add it
Burn.
until after I was already in the session and everything.
Oh, I don't know.
I
saw,
saw
like,
it also in
Air
D&D
wielding or
Beyond.
something like that.
Yeah, I heard you end up fucking mentioning bear skinned. Like I heard
Yeah,
that,
it's in
but it hadn't been dropped yet. So I don't know. I was basically trying to set it up that Tovar was, comfortable enough with the rest of the party. And I had talked to Burn about this. I had talked to Mandy about it because I know Burn has been trying to set us up for RPs and stuff like that, but none of us have really dove into it as much as we probably could. We're kind of just haha, and then fucking that's it.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about it, but my character got so drunk he puked, so my character couldn't continue.
Yeah, mine was stumbling.
Yeah, so I was trying to set that up as Tovar becoming more comfortable with the party, to where he would have ended up sharing with you guys a little bit of his backstory, or kind of his full name.
That's my bad. That somehow went Straight over my
Oh,
head.
don't worry. Like, my character does want to come back to it, but we've been on this quest, so probably when we get it back to the keep, I was gonna ask you about it, like,
Yeah.
like out of character, just because of like what happened with my character. I'm just keeping my character going with what keeps happening at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, other than that, like the session I think is pretty good. Like, kind of upsetty that we gotta end before like right as a little big bad fucking comes out.
Yeah, just
Oh, but
just oh
The
no.
other two can be involved
Well.
in the fight next week.
yeah.
I'm just ready to try another ability out next week.
So
We'll need to try to remember that you've got the +2 AC for next session.
No, I'll keep it in mind.
Well, the other thing too, real quick, I guess, because of more than 8 hours has passed, right?
I mean, I would basically give it to you guys just for the fight, and then basically, like take it off later.
Okay.
So we'll
5
still
health,
have
yeah.
that +5 to the max health for that fight, and
Yeah.
then right after the fight, it's gone.
Yeah, I would essentially put it that way.
would it be we have the +5, and since
Yeah, it's
It
you
was-
guys would
I can
have
only,
it.
I
Yeah.
can only
He can
target
only do
3 people
3.
anyways, so
oh, okay. Oh well, that was convenient.
yeah.
That would mean,
Convenient.
wouldn't that mean that only the party that is here right now would also get the inspiration, the bardic inspiration too?
Yes.
It would last only the fight because it only lasts 10 minutes.
Yeah,
I've
basically
already
it
used
would.
mine, so I don't need to worry about it.
Yeah,
Well-
it would basically last into the fight, and that's basically about it.
Well,
Hmm.
and then Bern was also saying that like if they're here next week, then he was gonna have it to where like we got there early enough and we met up before we went there. So
True.
technically, the bardic inspiration thing
Could
would
have
affect
been applied to them?
all of them. Yes.
Yeah, it will be something that we'll have to kind of cross when we get there.
Okay.
I'm currently trying to figure out why this isn't just. Discord, you're killing me. I'm trying to get the. I'm trying to have my soundboard stuff work on my end, and it doesn't seem to want to work for some reason, which is making me very upsetty because I don't understand what it wants.
Fucking bird.
It's like I should be able to just, but like it's not even coming up through Discord that I'm playing sound effects, which I'm like, man, then what's the point of having my ambiance?
Oh, yeah, you said there was a Tavern Brawler, right?
Yes, Tavern Brawler.
I'm adding that feat right now.
Oh yeah, I looked at the feat, and the second thing for the feat that you couldn't remember at the time was I can take an attack of opportunity against somebody even if they use the disengage action,
Yeah, that was the other one.
which is pretty badass.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I got an increase in perception, guys. Just saying.
Just saying.
Or proficiency in perception. I can't speak English.
Sure.
Well, thank you for that, because that also increases my health.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because of
Everyone's
with
health
Tavern Brawler, you get to choose 1 point to either Strength or Constitution. So I chose Constitution for the health.
Oh, I forgot that you had that fucking long sword that like
The Vorpal longsword. I
Decapitate.
think
yeah,
Vorpal
like
that's me.
The Orpal.
the
The
fucking
Vorpal.
what it decapitates on fucking crits or some shit like that.
Yeah, that's Vorpal.
And the dope thing about it is with my fighter specialization, a crit is a 19 or a 20.
Yeah.
Which
It's
is badass.
pretty solid.
So if I get a 19, this gas is gonna be fucking shot first swing.
You're gonna get out of here. You're gonna get slapped. Hey.
Slap my dick. Give that boy a muscle stamp.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to test. I guess if I do this.
Oh, so I guess fucking technically.
I got it
Yeah,
to work.
I can hear that.
Nice.
I guess technically Coverall would have already used his bardic inspiration. Yes.
Yeah, I used it there
Okay.
on the religion check.
I thought it lasts for 10 minutes.
Well, you can only use it once, but
Yeah.
you get to choose to use it on any roll within that one roll within.
Yeah,
that
within that
distance.
window.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, you gain an inspiration die.
Cool,
It means
cool,
that
sure.
if I got this working, it means I can do this. Woo!
Jesus.
I still gotta fix a couple of things behind it.
Chord.
I had that set
God
up for one of my campaigns. They went into a twisted carnival realm because they're fighting a god of chaos, and that was the song I had playing behind it.
That's perfect.
I know it's from one of my favorite bands. Like that they redid the carnival, the March of the Centurions theme, and it is by far my favorite. And then apparently they redid a bunch of doom music.
I would roast you, but my mom said
That
like
actually went pretty well together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the fuck it actually said, but
I had oh, I still have the from yesterday was Stig. It's like and apparently they added a bunch of fantasy sounds recently. That's actually not really bad. I gotta go through and look through all this new stuff. But with that, I basically got nothing left for you guys. I'm glad everyone enjoyed it. I hope you guys are enjoying like the titles and the fact that you guys are getting that reputation and kind of growing as players.
Literally, fuck your own face!
And literally fucking your own face. In the words of Tom Cruise. And just really kind of becoming more. That's one thing I've been loving with you guys is that you guys have really taken these characters and started to grow them without me having to force anything. You're just kind of falling into your niches and becoming more, and that's what I want to see is you guys be like, okay, you know, Tovar started as this, but now Tovar's developing into this character. Because like one thing I sat down and talked with him about was the fact that I wanted to have some missions in play that fall into everyone's backstories. And like the only two people that I really knew who had backstories written was like Tovar had a very basic one and Nosh had a very detailed one. And so kind of playing off of that, and he was like, well, no one else really wrote backstories. I was like, well, that's the beauty of playing in this game is that it's all fluid, it's consistent, it's constant. So when you guys ever come up with how you want your backstory to be, whatever it may be, just let me know, because then I can set up a side missions or side missions to kind of go through that that backstory, because that's going to be a massive bonding point for you guys as a group, as a family. Because it's like the whole thing of yeah, we're not going to let you be tossed behind because you know you're being hunted or you're being shit on or you are like being called upon or you know the clergymen that you worked for are shitty or whatever, you know, the cult that you were a part of came back to haunt you or some shit, you know.
You know, I didn't like really read the backstory, but I just took the backstory off of like what I kind of took as I clicked on stuff.
Yeah, which is fine. You can kind of fluff it out as you go. It doesn't have to be anything specific because you can build those fluff details as you play the character more. Because that's the whole thing. It's like a character's not built in a day. Like how the character plays, how you kind of become comfortable playing it, help you determine how they're going to be. Because like you can start the character off as one way and be like, oh no, like I can't keep playing him this way because it's either the voice is too hard for me, or it's just not the way I want to play him, or I want to add this into his backstory, whatever. And so it's fluid up to a point, and then once you have everything established, you're basically good to go. But I got nothing else for you guys. I've been super happy around this session. I've been asked a couple of times by Salty and Rage about how long this campaign's looking to be going. As long as you guys want, honestly, because there's a few hurdles I have in play for the arc. Because with you guys, because this was kind of a starter campaign, I only had really one arc in play. Because I didn't want to have like multiple twists and turns and be like M. Night Shyamalan in this shit. But I wanted to kind of make it a longer arc where you guys explore more, do more, kind of bond as characters. You'll probably wind up getting to like level 15 before the end of it. That's just me ballparking. Like if I was just to like kind of skid you through it. But it's the whole thing of you guys want to do more side quests, if you want to go explore stuff, if you want to... Because you as players can be like, hey, I would like to go hunt down this person in my backstory. I would like to go hunt monsters. I would like to go do the stereotypical damsel in distress mission from every D&D game since the 80s. You can just pitch that, and I'll make it happen. Because the whole point of it's to have fun. And if we burn through the story too quickly, then it's like, oh, well, fuck, now we're at the end game. Like, what are we going to do? So if there's anything you guys want to particularly take on, send it. For the backstory missions, I want everyone to have at least one, and I'll be working with all of you to do it. Yes, Carson, I have been hydrating. You see these?
Dungeon Daddy.
There's been 4 of these going down my gullet, so I have been hydrating. Thank you.
Oh, speaking of that, have you watched the Spotify or listened to the Spotify podcast for Dungeon Daddies?
No, I haven't. I've heard about it a few times. I have not sat down and listened to it.
Yeah, Mandy's.
It's
told me
pretty
about
fucking good.
Very nice. But if you guys come up with anything you want to do, side story wise, side quests, even if it's something simple of like, I want to stop a bank from being robbed, or I want to go hunt down a bandit camp. Whatever floats your boat. I'm not asking you to write me anything complex. Just give me something simple to work with, and I'll put it in. Because I would like you guys to have fun with it, and not just us rush through it, if that makes sense. Like, if you want to extend this for, like, send them to the Mormon town, the Mormon town is an idea. I could do that. But, like, it's that whole thing of that, however long you guys want to extend it. Like, if you guys want to get through this, put the feather in your cap of playing these characters, and start up again at another point in a different campaign that's built bigger, we can do that. Or if you want to just stretch this out and just start pushing shit in of being like, oh, we can do this, and then I would like us to, like, if we finish this arc, I want us to have something behind it. Like, for instance, whenever we get to the end of this arc, you're like, I want to keep playing in this world, I want to keep playing this character. I'll be like, sure. Let's cause another catastrophe and see you guys go deal with it. So it's up to you guys. But like I said, that's all I got. For all of my lovely viewers out there and anyone's channel, thank you all for being with us. I know tonight was a little bit shorter session. We're down 2 players. I'm trying to keep it fun and short. It's fine. We're working the best we can. Thank you, Darkdown, for the crap night as always. Check us out next week, next Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Be here or be square. We'll be doing the same thing. Hopefully we'll have the rest of the party here where everyone will be fighting gas and ghouls, and it's going to be a great time. Hopefully I'll have some more material prepped by then, working off some backstory, so we'll have some more stuff to play with. If you haven't already, check out my other campaign that I run tomorrow called Beyond the Brink. They're also in a pretty good cliffhanger situation, so it's going to be interesting how they kind of get themselves out of that one. But I appreciate everyone being here. I appreciate everyone kind of coming in and hanging out and doing stuff. I do have 2 goals set up for both followers and the subs, just to help kind of get a foot in the door with getting a little bit bigger audience to really kind of spread the good word, so to speak. But past that, I'm not asking for anything in particular. I'm not looking to get a new mic or a new webcam or something. I work and do stuff. It's just more of to help get people interested in D&D and TTRPGs and shit like that. Past that, I got nothing else for you guys. We're going to be raiding into a friend of mine, Dr. Fishy Biscuits, who actually is a player for my Sunday campaign. So we're going to go, what's the word? Kick Club. We're going to go Kick Club her stream because she's streaming Diablo 4. So we're going to go show her some sweet old love and affection. Finra, Coverall, Nosh, Tovar, thank you, all of you guys, for being here. Without you guys, it wouldn't be possible for me to do this shit. I can't do it by myself.
Yep. It was fun.
Love it.
Appreciate everyone here. We'll see you Sunday. If we don't see you Sunday, we'll see you next Saturday for D&D, and I'll be streaming during the rest of the week with these noodles. So, we'll see you then, guys. Fucking doses!
Peace out, Cub Scout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, you beautiful guys. I'll see y'all around.
See ya, see ya.